What does Conan think of Vampiro? Actually, we talked about that a little bit, but you know, you and Vampiro probably have known each other for probably 9-10 years, probably from the day he showed up almost in Mexico. Is that right?
The day that he showed up, I was kind of like, I was told to take him under my wing and actually introduced him to my girlfriend's cousin, who was his first girlfriend in Mexico. When he first came in, he was like a cool, shy guy. And then, you know, the fame came to him real quick, like it does to all of us, and you get the big head. We started to have heat because, first of all, they offered him a soap opera, and he didn't want to do it because they didn't want to pay him enough, and they didn't want him to speak in it. They wanted him to be like a deaf mute, and he wanted to speak. And I remember telling him, what are you going to speak? You can't even speak Spanish. But, you know, he was in his diva mode, and he didn't take the part, so they offered it to me. So he went, and when it became successful, of course, he went around telling everybody I took the part from him. And then, you know, we got into like 1 or 2 altercations, and he, you know, I tried to make up with him because I don't like to be vindictive. You know, I try to think that people can change, that people can be good. I try to find the best in people. And, you know, even now when he's been hanging around with this Jerry-only guy, because he tried to get me fired out of Promo Azteca with his little butt buddy Bob Barnett, who calls your show all the time. But anyways, they tried to get me fired from Promo Azteca. And basically he's been hanging around with this guy from the Misfits, Jerry-only, who's a guy that wears like the dark circles around his eyes, who's a really cool guy. And I even told him, I go, I hope some of this guy's niceness rubs off on you, but you can't change the spots on a leopard. He's still a jackass.
Let's go to Bob Barnett. Bob, what's up?
Yeah, hi guys. I had to call in because Carlos had to say, you know, butt buddy Vampiro, and I think I got about 3
like you do is make his ass, bro.
I just wanted to know, you know, Vamp sort of thought that you guys were starting to cool off on each other. You know, when are you ever going to get to the time when you can just lay off it?
You and Vamp can both kiss my ass. That's what I have to say about that. You know, the motherfuckers going around the locker room trying to say I got heat for being on this internet show and that I was going to be on it in Tuesday and I was going to get more heat. He sounds like a little bitch going around gossiping, and you're usually the guy that gives him most of this gossip. So fuck both of you.
Well, good, Carlos. I'm glad that you showed your stripes again. Thanks, Dave. I'll talk to you.
Say something really funny so everybody thinks you're a charming guy. Get the hell off the line.
Whoa.
Good old Carlos. Bye.
Good old Bobby. Bye.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, that was definitely different. Let's go to Travis in Tennessee. Travis, what's going on?
Yeah, Raven. I know there's a lot of reasons that you got.
You got to speak up.
Oh, I'm sorry. You was talking about WCW, the people like Sting and Flair and stuff not giving you chances, not giving chances. I don't know. You might get in a little trouble over this, but who just really kicks you off the worst in WCW?
Hogan's a piece of shit. He's a fucking asshole. That motherfucker sabotaged my career so fucking bad. I mean, every meeting he would go in there, and I got a bunch of witnesses. You know, the fucker would go in there and go, this kid can't draw money. This kid can't do that. He's a fucking asshole.
Well, there's your answer. Okay, let's go to Mike in New York.
Yeah, Dave, what's up? Listen, you guys are talking about all the guys in WWF getting over and stuff, like Road Dogg. Road Dogg only got over when he started stealing his whole act from Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style album, you know? I mean, WWF should be paying royalties to Snoop Dogg because his whole entire act is stolen off the Snoop Dogg's album.
Everyone steals stuff. I mean, that's how we learn.
Get Snoop Doggy Dogg's, I think it's 93 Doggy Style. Get that album. He stole everything. Everything he says on the mic, he stole from that album. You know? And another thing is, I want to say, you guys are talking about everybody who's not getting over it because they're being held back, this and that. You know, you got Raven there. You know, Corey Feldman only has a certain shelf life, Raven. You know what I mean?
What's up, Nova?
After a while, you start getting played out, you know?
Like Corey Feldman?
Corey Feldman, man. You're acting like a Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman gets annoying after a while.
Is it Nova or Donnie B?
I can't even hear you.
Long enough to get on the show, you damn jabroni.
Yeah, listen, Billy Kidman and all those guys are not. When Sid had the 5-minute match, and you write in the newsletter, Dave, Sid's not over. But when Kidman gets a 5-minute match, it's he's told to go home early, this and that. I mean, these guys are boring. Billy Kidman's boring. I mean, how can you dress this guy up? I mean, Hogan's got the biggest pop at the Nassau Coliseum. Everybody's making excuses. You know?
I didn't make excuses. I just said that it's not the thing to be doing because they got to be rebuilding, and whether there's you know, you can't rebuild around 40-year-old guys and turn a company around. And that's
you got Raven back there saying, oh, you know, it's Nassau Coliseum. I would have thought Hogan would have got booed at the Nassau Coliseum because the new Long Island crowd is brutal. You know, I thought they were going to boo him.
Well, they did every time until he came out. Every time on the
you know what I mean? You got all these guys who can't get over it. You know, I'll pay $5 to $10 extra a ticket to keep the luchadors and the Japanese off the card. And I'm a fan. I'm a hardcore fan. I subscribe to your newsletter, and I don't like those guys. You know what I mean? And you got all these guys in ECW getting over. They're only getting big pops for their music. I mean, a few years ago, what'd you have? The Bad Crew coming down with March of the SOD. That song is getting a pop, not those clowns. You know, you got Raven coming out to Offspring. Everybody's popping for the Offspring, not Raven.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? All these promos. Raven, you were ripping off Black Sabbath 5 or 6 years ago in ECW, you know? And politically acclaimed, you know, promos by Raven. I mean...
No, I was ripping off Black Sabbath back in ECW, not WCW.
That's what I'm saying, back in ECW, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got all these great promos.
Fucking rocks.
You know, and Billy Kidman, he didn't fit into a group like with the Filthy Animals. When I think of Filthy Animals, I think of Filthy Animal Taylor from Motorhead. You know, you think of Lemmy from Motorhead.
We should have brought Lemmy out.
What was that?
We should have brought Lemmy Kilmister out and put him in.
If I would have put a Filthy Animals together, you would have had a better look for the Filthy Animals than Kidman. I would have put you in there. I would have got Brian Lee, maybe put him in there, some scruffy guy.
The Bulldozer.
What was that?
The Bulldozer, Brian Lee.
Yeah, where was he?
Where's Brian Lee?
Ball, whatever his name was, I would have put him in that group. Not Billy Kidman's going, yeah, with just a couple of filthy animals, Gene Oakland. What the heck is that about?
Hey, Dave, where is Brian Lee at?
I don't know. That's a good question.
He's fallen off the radar.
Yeah, he's another one.
VH1, where are they now?
Yeah. They got to get Raven. They got to get you and Corey Feldman together, man.
We got to get a new caller.
For the Uncanny, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hello.
Nice caller.
Let's go to David in New York. David, you're next up with Eric.
Hey, my question for Eric is, why did you call Bruce Mitchell a pedophile on WrestleLine?
I never did.
You compared him to ML Curley.
I compared Bruce Mitchell's approach to reporting to Jim Thompson's.
But you said he went to the Jim Thompson School of Reporting, which is like saying how Roman Cunha today the Terry Garvin School of Self-Defense.
No, it's not at all.
You were implying... No, but you said that they had similar hobbies and interests.
Absolutely, I did. And they do.
Similar hobbies was a little strong.
That might have been a little strong, but they do have similar hobbies. They both write about wrestling.
No, you said you said they have more in common than people would think.
They do have more in common than people think. Neither one of them step outside of their zip code to really report on wrestling. Neither one of them know half the time what the hell they're talking about when it comes to wrestling. But they'll be the first ones to put themselves out as wrestling experts and tell the world what's wrong with it. That's what they have in common.
And my other question is, since your on-air character last night was kind of gloating about ramming the Hummer into the limo, will the Hogan character be pressing charges?
Gee, I don't know. Do you think he should?
I'm just saying that, like, it's not like he was just suddenly, it's because the way it was done that you come out bragging about it. You know, last time if it was like someone, you know, if it was just someone said if it was who was driving the Hummer, but the person could have kept denying it or something. You know? Like if Randy Savage said Eric Bischoff was driving the Hummer, then your character could have denied it, and, you know, it's not like there would have been anything, you know, like within the storyline that could have supposedly held up in court. But just the way it was done, like, it's not like you just beat him up in the locker room, you hit the guy for the car.
Yeah?
My point is that it's not, the fact that the character gloats about it instead of just beating away. I mean, I kind of understand the way that it was done, you know, that if you just drove away without getting out of the car, then it would have been another 3 months of who's driving the Hummer. But it just seems too, I mean, it just seems too unrealistic even for wrestling that someone could hit someone with a car and there will be no charges pressed.
I'm not sure if you're, how old are you, by the way?
Why do I have to tell you that?
Well, you don't have to tell me. I won't take you to court if you don't tell me.
I'm just saying that...
No. Answer the question. How old are you?
I'm a teenager. I'm 15.
Okay. When
when we produce a show, we're producing a show to create emotion. We're not producing a show to, create a format that would stand up under the scrutiny of a judge. There's a lot of things that we do that in real life would never be able to play out. There's a lot of things that the WWF does that in real life, if you put that real analytical, magnifying glass over every single thing that you do, you wouldn't do anything. And the things that you would do would be pretty boring when you really get down to it.
True, but wrestlers have been arrested on Nitro before, and it was for petty things like powerbombing people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look, you've got a point. When we laid out the show, we lay out a show to create emotion, to create controversy. I did what I did because I wanted people to hate my guts for doing it. And the fact that I gloated about doing it, I think, probably got the reaction that we wanted to get out of the audience. And that's why we did it. Now, is there a more logical approach? There probably is. Is there an approach that would, play out in court? There probably is. But, that's not what we're doing here. We're creating emotion. We're creating entertainment. And sometimes we do it from, a very logical point of view, and sometimes we do things that in real life would never happen. But that's why we're television, and that's why it's entertainment.
You're the last person to talk about logic, though.
I'm sorry?
I mean, you're the kind of the last person to talk about logic, though, because you did push the Giants off the roof. You had that angle.
You're right. Sometimes we do things that are logical, and sometimes we don't. Look, I'm not defending WCW as the rock bed of wrestling logic. That's not the approach.
One last thing.
I hope so. Not that I don't mind talking to you, but
it's okay. One last thing. I mean, there was a lot of criticism for your idea for what you were going to have for Vampiro at the New Year's pay-per-view. You regret suggesting that idea, since some people say it led to your demotion. I'm sorry, I don't even understand the question. Remember the angle that you thought of with Vampiro jumping into the holy water?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
That wasn't ever planned?
I've never heard of it before.
Because I've heard of it from a lot of reliable sources.
It can't be too reliable.
I guess so. Dave, do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I vaguely know that there was an angle with Vampiro and the Demon that was... I never heard holy water exactly, but I just heard that there was a Vampiro Demon.
That Vampiro was going to jump Vampiro was going to get thrown into holy water by the Demon, and ICP was going to sacrifice themselves or something.
I've never even heard of this before.
Okay, that's a good thing then.
Dave, we've got to get running. We've got a full bank of calls, okay? Let's go to George in Boston. Your next up with Phil.
Yeah, hi. I was just wondering, Phil, you've been following wrestling for over 20 years, I'm guessing, right?
No, I haven't. I mean, I watched it as a kid, and then I started following it around '89.
Okay,
the DeLorean thing is when I came back.
Okay, this is a stupid question. I was wondering, you ever heard of wrestling legend Sam Mushnick?
Yeah, it's funny. My late father's name was Sam Mushnick.
Oh, my God. I was saying to myself...
Different spelling, different families. That's Sam Mushnick from St. Louis, Missouri.
I was saying, he must know a lot about wrestling. What if he's like a nephew of this guy? I know.
Phil Mushnick and I know Sam Mushnick's nephew, Irv.
That's Irv.
Yeah. No relation then, huh?
That's funny.
We both know Irv Mushnick, who's Sam's nephew.
Okay.
Who wrote a lot of articles on wrestling in the early '90s.
Okay. Because I thought, oh my God, this guy has the same name of a wrestling legend like Mushnick, Sam Mushnick.
No, I'd be living off residuals. I'd be very pro wrestling.
Yeah, I'm not even that, but he wasn't probably into was like today. He was friends with Lou Thesz, right?
Sam Mushnick and Lou Thesz were business partners forever.
Yeah, Lou Thesz is the way it is today.
That Sam Mushnick was a very real giving guy. That, when wrestlers were down and out, he made sure they were taken care of. That's what I always heard about him.
Well, I don't know.
He had a reputation for being honest among wrestling promoters, which may not be a huge compliment, but actually it was. Most people were very complimentary of Sam Mushnick.
That's rare in any sport.
Like the only booker in the past 20 years I've heard of that really cares about is a man like Giant Baba, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean,
I wouldn't. It's a funny word when you say care. I mean, I think that everyone cares. It's just that
I don't think Vince wants to see these guys hurt. That's obvious. But I'll agree. Back in the old days, 15 years ago, there was less of a rope, a net, if these guys fell. But today, I mean, you look like, you know who the Hardys are, Mr. Mushnick?
I've heard of them.
Well, and Chris Benoit, right?
I've heard of Chris.
Have you ever seen a Chris Benoit match? I mean, he doesn't use steroids at all, and everyone, Dave, you know, everyone
don't. I don't want to start fights here, but don't say that. Okay?
What?
You don't know who uses what?
We don't know who uses. We don't know who doesn't use steroids.
Well, I shouldn't say that. But
I don't want to be accusing anyone. I don't want to be accusing anyone of anything, but I don't want to say that someone doesn't like that either. Especially, you know. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying. I heard about Sam Mushnick. That's all I want to talk about.
No, but thanks for asking. No, my father was an insurance agent.
Well, okay. Thanks. Bye.
Let's go to James in New Jersey. James, you're up with Rick Martel.
Is this Rick Martel?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I just tuned in late. At least there's one person out here worth respecting. Now, I have a question. Dave Melzer, how long did it take to wipe the brown off your nose at the last Thursday at the Tillman show? Because you're such a brown nose with his WWF marks.
That's really intelligent. See you later. Oh, God. This is from Scott in Maine, and he said that he wanted to know if you have any good road stories about Brian Pillman. I have a couple questions like that.
How much time do you have? How much time do you have? Oh, my goodness, it's at the Waldorf Astoria, okay? We're there. You're laughing, did I tell you? Okay, we're at the Waldorf. Huh?
I don't know it yet.
Okay, we're at the Waldorf Astoria, you know, the best zip code in the country. Most expensive real estate. We're up there for the doll convention, the Galoob doll convention. Okay, so Brian was single at the time. We were both out roaring around Manhattan. So he gets a friend, meets a friend, this chick, beautiful blonde, and we go back to the hotel, and I had met some other girl that was at the doll show that day. So I'm in my room, we split up, and usually our deal was to leave the doors open, you know, in case, you know, you needed a toothbrush or some dental floss or something, you know, that we could walk in, or, you know, a soft knock. Anyway, I'm in there with this girl, and one thing leads to another. All of a sudden, after about an hour or half hour, Pillman comes in, and he slides in, and they're naked. And Brian says, "Hey, Tom, come here a minute." So we had been out, had a couple of beers, and I said, "What is it?" He goes, "I'll leave the light on in the bathroom. I want you to come in and hold my feet. I need to get some traction. So slide down low and hold my feet at the end of the bed." I'm going, oh, my God. So anyway, that was the story.
Oh, my God.
Wild and crazy times. Pillman was a gas. He was a wild man, and, yeah, he's truly missed.
Let's go to Terry in North Carolina. You're first up with Shannon Moore.
Hello, how you doing, David?
I'm doing good.
How about you, Brian?
Doing good.
How you doing, Shane? What's up, man? How are you?
Shannon.
Okay, my fault. Okay,
Shane's the other guy.
Okay, yes, I got a question to ask you too. Okay, is it true that y'all and the Young Dragons gonna be in a ladders match?
In a ladders match? As of right now, there's nothing definite, but hopefully, you know, something like that will come up because I'm ready for it. It'll be pretty entertaining, I think.
Yeah, because I was hearing Mark May talking about it on WCW Live a few times.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've heard something mentioned about it, so hopefully it could come up. Maybe at the pay-per-view, maybe not. I don't know. There's nothing in stone right now, but hopefully it'll be soon.
Yeah, because I'd like to see y'all in a tables match also, too.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it. I'm down for whatever.
Can I get in one more question?
Sure, go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, yes, Shannon. Okay, the thing about Jimmy Hart or whatever, I can't believe that he's having help with some of y'all music also too.
I can't hear you.
I don't think.
What did you say?
I don't think he's producing everything by himself because it's kind of obvious because a lot of his production in WCW sound more of an 80s.
Well, Jimmy Hart's kind of like an 80s musical mind or something. I mean, because the songs that he writes, in the early 80s, he used to write these little songs in Memphis with, he actually sung them himself, and they would do music videos to him, and it was kind of cute at the time, because no one in wrestling, you know, that was like way above, you know, ahead of what anyone else in wrestling was doing. It was way before, you know, like, the WWF Rock and Wrestling Connection, which came about 3 years later.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything else?
Okay, I'm still here.
Okay,
one more question before I go. Okay, yeah, because I hear him claiming that he did a lot of stuff like the Wolfpack music. I really don't believe that right there. I think he paid somebody to do that.
I think he did the Wolfpack music. I've heard that too.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did. You know, he did all Terry Funk's music when Terry Funk used to release records in Japan in the early '80s.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hip hop. That's why.
Yeah, but he's like a. I mean, he's real into music, Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, he's wherever it comes to music, Jimmy, he knows what he's doing. That's
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was just wondering, what about John Johnston? What y'all think of his style of production?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he have a little help too, also.
Well, everyone. I mean, you got to have help. I mean, it's not like Jimmy's a one-man band doing everything himself, but
yeah. I kind of figured the guys who doing the vocals on the DX song, they helping doing some of the production too.
Maybe Woody.
The guys that's singing the vocals on DX's entrance.
The original guys? I mean, not Run DMC.
Not the original guys.
Yeah, those original guys that performed at that one pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I remember them.
Yeah, because I think they did the vocals on Chris Jericho's song, too. And Vince McMahon's entrance.
They might. They might.
Yeah, I'm kind of having a feeling they helping doing it also. Didn't him and Jimmy Hart work together, too?
What?
Didn't him and Jimmy Hart work together? John Johnson.
The guy who does all the WF music, that guy? I forget his name. Johnson? They may have been together at the end of Jimmy's WF run. I'm not sure how the time frame worked, because Jimmy Hart did like all that WF songs, like the Paul Roma song, and a lot of those entrance musics.
Yeah.
For a while, and then he left for WCW, and then the guy who's in there, Johnson, came in. But I'm not sure when he first came in. The guy that was in what's the movie Beyond the Mat? You ever see him doing the Vader song?
Okay, how old is he? You know how John Johnson is?
No, I don't know anything about him. I just saw him. The only thing I know about him is what I saw in the Beyond the Mat. So I know what he looks like, but as far as how old he is, I don't know.
Oh, I gotta look at Beyond the Mat. What scene are you on in Beyond the Mat?
What?
Well, I'm gonna look for him. Did they mention his name?
It's a scene where they go behind the scenes to the music, and he's actually playing the Vader song on his guitar and going like, this is how Big Vader. He comes out, mom, 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 and that's how he kind of try to explain how he comes up with music for different people. So, I don't know how. I don't know that Steve Regal song though. They should have made him explain the Steve Regal song.
Yeah, that was kind of sloppy right there.
Yeah. Okay, we got to get running right now. Okay.
Okay. See you later.
Okay. Anything else, Mike?
Yeah, I have a second question for Dave. Judging by your reputation and on your views and the star that you give per matches and match quality, do you feel that America's favorite food should be a taco or beef lo mein?
Well, I actually don't understand that. I think I know what you're saying.
One time, I'll give you a classic line. This is a really good one, and Ole should sue me if it's slanderous. I went into Ole one time when he was burying me, fined me like $3,000 for missing a shot when I had a personal conflict. Right? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I went into the office and I met with him, and I was up at Gainesville, and it was, Flair was shaving. I'll never forget it. And Ole was giving me the raspberries, and he had an audience. And I said, Rick, when you hired me, did you hire me at $156,000 for 2 years to just be a job guy, to get beaten like a rented mule? You know what Rick said to me? Who's done more jobs than me? What do you say to that? That's how clever Rick is, okay? And I'm sure you can hear him saying that. Okay, so it went further. I had my friend Lenny out in California write back a letter to buy me out. If you didn't want me, don't ruin my career, just buy me out. Well, on the webpage, it has all those legal documents. I don't know if you saw it in that, but it has the correspondence between the Turner people and an analyzation of all that. Well, I caught Dusty Ole one-on-one in the office one time, and it was in Jim Barnett's office. Yeah, come on in here, we'll talk. I said, what's going on here? Why are you busting my chops? You split up me and Pillman. I said, why are you busting my balls and Pillman's balls? And what about Sting? He's making $750,000 a year. How do you justify that? Why don't you go after him? All the people are dressed like chairs. Ole says to me, $750,000 a year? I'd suck cock all day. Line them up for $750,000 a year. I'd suck cock all day. And Ole Rock Rogowski, if you're listening, you sue me for slander if that's a lie, because that's the damn truth. What do you say to that? What do you say to a guy that says something like that to you? He went after me and Pillman. And not a guy like Sting that wasn't drawn, but he was making $750,000. But Ole said, line him up. He'd suck cock all day for $750,000.
We got to go to a break right now.
Yeah, you like that one, huh?
Oh, yeah. We'll be back right after this.
And Jim Barnett, I called him a few weeks ago on a Sunday. Oh, hello, my boy. How are you, Tom? I said, good. How are you? You know, I never like to let these guys forget my name because he made me promises that he never kept and this and that, right? So I said, what's going on, Mr. Barnett? How are you doing? Just gave him the gag. I said, I'm going on Dave Meltzer's show, and I said, I'm going to light a few people up. You know, it's a very entertaining show, so you can say what you feel like. Oh, I'm not hooked up to the Internet, Tom, and I don't have any contact with wrestling. A week later, I see him with Dick Byers up in Buffalo, and he's wearing the mask gimmick on. This is
Byers
year
was.
two. What?
You mean Fire in the crowd with the mask, right?
Yeah, and Barnett was sitting next to him, and he was yawning at the matches. I thought, yeah, that's a telltale sign of your matches, Mr. Barnett. But he had told me a week earlier, oh, no, I'm not in wrestling at all. I have no idea, Tom. So that gives you, I thought, you liar, you old fart.
That's the greatest impersonation.
70-some years old, and this old fart's pulling my chain. And he helped me get a job in WCW. Who cares? I wasn't looking for work. I just don't want Jim to forget my name. Because I know he caused Pillman a lot of problems, too. Pillman believed in a guy like that. He didn't know how manipulative Jimmy Boy was, you know?
Yeah. You didn't know that Brian is Brian's Jim's grandson.
What?
We got you on that one.
Brian Alvarez? You're his grandson?
That's right.
Are you serious? Well, why would he lie to me?
No, he's not really.
Oh, I thought he was because he wrestled in I've always liked Portland. You still wrestle up there, my boy?
Yes, I do.
What's going on with the commission? I hear there's a lot of heat. How about the Rats? Any dirt on any of the boys?
Let's go to Terry in North Carolina. Terry, what's going on?
How you doing, Dave?
Doing really good.
Okay, how you doing, Julian?
Hey, Terry.
You think the stock could go down if they officially announced that The Rock is black? Because you don't acknowledge that on
it won't make the slightest bit of difference.
I'm good.
I want to start with JD in Pittsburgh. JD, what's going on?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Lance. Hi, Brian. How you guys doing tonight?
Hi, JD.
All right, I want to talk to you guys about a few things about last night's Thunder Show, if I could. Briefly, I want to talk about one person in particular, Scott Steiner, as far as his actions go. I mean, I understand he's the heel character and all in WCW right now, but I have to ask you, Dave, and maybe you guys could comment on this real quick. Do you think the way his actions have been lately, especially provoking the referee and pushing him, he hasn't been suspended or worse, fined by the WCW? I mean, you know the rules. You cannot touch an official.
No, I'm sure that they're encouraging him to do that for his character, so I wouldn't really worry about that. It's the stuff he does that you don't see that I would worry about, and he does do that.
he goes off the edge a lot. We know that.
Well, maybe that's why it's so believable when he does it on camera, because you definitely know that he possibly really could be doing this. Scott Steiner's like...
He should be banned from the crowd.
Well, I understand he's a great heel and everything, but they should take some action with the actions he's been portraying in the ring. I mean, the rules are simple. You do not touch an official when you're in the ring. You do not.
Yeah, if you do
down on it.
You do if you're told to. JD, we got to get running, okay?
See you guys.
Let's get to Mike. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Not too much.
Listen, if Vampiro thinks that the wrestling industry was, bad to him, that there's a lot of characters, wait till he figures out what's going to happen to him in the music industry. Because Insane Clown Posse is going to take him over the hurdles. If you think Russo was bad and WCW was bad, Insane Clown Posse probably would get him signed to a bad deal. And if he's making double the pay, working for Insane Clown Posse, then wrestling, I don't believe that. Playing bass guitar, I doubt it. Basses are a dime a dozen. When you can't play guitar, you pick up the bass.
I think even if he's making half and not suffering an 18th concussion, if he's actually at 17, is better than, risking your health for double the money.
He'll be back in wrestling in no time. I mean...
Oh, yeah, he pretty much said he'll be back in wrestling.
The way he was carrying on, you would think he was the greatest wrestler of all time.
I don't think he quite said that.
Yeah, but you know, he was stiff, and the fans really loved him. I never got that watching WCW, watching him, thinking the fans really loved him.
No, every time he did all right, and then when they turned him, you know, it was the same thing as every mid-card guy.
And one more thing I want to say about the Radicals, or whatever they're called, the Rascals, or whatever they're called in WWF. How come every time they're in a match with each other, you always say disappointing, not as good as you would think? When are these guys going to live up to their potential? And enough with the excuses.
I rarely say that Benoit's matches are disappointing.
But I notice every time they're matched together, even Jericho is matched with any of them. Disappointing, not as good as you would think. Really? I mean, at what point are they going to turn it on?
I think Benoit's been pretty much phenomenal. I think Benoit's been probably the best guy in the whole business, actually. As far as
outside of Benoit. Okay,
Saturn. I haven't seen a lot of. Saturn hasn't been that great. Malenko's been pretty good. I mean, Malenko. We knew Malenko was going to have a problem in the WWF. I mean, it was one of those things. His style is more Japanese oriented, but he works hard and he works solid. He's small. Eddie Guerrero as a personality has done better than I thought in the ring. I mean, I don't know that Eddie Guerrero's as good as he was 5 years ago. But also, you know, hey, he's working with Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
Eddie
hasn't really had a chance to prove what he can do.
And a lot of these guys, you talk about all these Mexican guys that were big stars over in Mexico and stuff, and Japan. You know, Mr. Big, you know, the poser band, you know, they're humongous in Japan. They don't sell nothing here. I mean, it's a whole different ballgame over there, you know? Music bands like over in England and stuff are humongous over in England. They come over here, they're nothing. They're lucky to sell 10,000 copies over here. I mean, you can't say it's racism in WCW. That's why they're not being pushed. I mean, I'm a regular wrestling fan. I don't like the
but they're not even being given a chance.
Yeah, that's right. There's
but what kind of chance? You got to go out there and do your thing. If you got a 5-minute match, you got to go out there and do your thing.
Okay. Well, just as an example, just as those guys on the pay-per-view, the Young Dragons and those guys. The best guy on that whole show was Kaz Hayashi. His match started to get over. Do you think that it made any difference? Do you think when Eddie Guerrero was out there having phenomenal matches, or Mysterio Jr. when they first got there, were they given a chance to go up? No, they weren't. They were, you know.
But the fans, their personalities stink. You know what I mean? I'm a regular fan. I don't like the Japanese.
When Eddie Guerrero wrestled, that's racist. There you go.
No, I don't like
white wrestlers.
Guys that are 3 foot tall doing head scissors as their only move. I mean, come on already. You got Rey Mysterio jumping around. He knows one move, a head scissor. Who?
Rey Mysterio knows
one move. And any of his big matches, always
see you, Mike. See you, Mike.
Was that Vince though?
You got to do a better argument than that. Once you give Rey Mysterio knows one move, you're in a lot of trouble. Let's go to Dimitri in Albany. Dimitri, what's up?
Hey, Jim.
Hey.
Did you try to bring Abdullah the Butcher into WWF when you were there?
That's right. Somebody asked that the other day.
Did I want to?
Yeah.
Yes, I thought when Mick came in that it would be fabulous to do something with him, and this was one of my first bones of contention with Russo, because I think I suggested Abdullah in a box, and later on I had Terry Funk in a box, because you know what, it's a rule of thumb in wrestling, the guy that comes out of the box gets over. I'm sorry, but you know, that's the way it is. The guy that comes out of the box gets over. But at any rate, I had suggested Abdullah, but it never came to pass.
That you think there's like a place for him today in wrestling?
Abdullah?
Yeah.
Dave, if I'm not mistaken, he still wrestles, doesn't he?
Yeah, Big Japan.
Yeah.
Probably just some indies. Oh, not again! Go! Kill him!
I thought we had a rule.
We have a. Yeah, what is that rule? No banging pots and pans?
No banging pots on the air.
What was that?
That's right. Let's get to the phone calls, because we've got Wade in Minnesota. Is this the famous Wade in Minnesota?
Yeah, this show reminds me of an old bowling shoe.
Oh, it's not the famous Wade in Minnesota. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, you there?
Hey. I'm here.
Yeah, listen, I want to say about Dusty Rhodes. You know, that people saying you weren't hard enough on him, or that you know, they didn't want to hear you bring up old controversies. You know, you're supposed to be a journalist. You know what I mean? You should have hit him with everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? it's like if Geraldo and was so outspoken against O.J. Simpson for years, and then if O.J. did his show, I don't think Geraldo would be asking him what was it like to be a spokesperson for Hertz Rent-A-Car.
What's Geraldo doing right now, by the way?
I don't know what Geraldo's doing.
Well, that other guy who does the cable show, who used to, you know, you should have hit him. It was, you know, you're supposed to be a journalist, you know.
No, actually, I enjoyed the show with Dusty a lot.
Yeah, it was a good show, but he's like public enemy number one in, you know,
No,
in your
he's not.
newsletter.
He's no one. He's no one's public enemy number one.
Come on,
I mean,
he was
Dusty.
bad-mouthing Dusty. He was a
Dusty,
terrible announcer.
when Dusty was in the 80s and the early 90s, that's ancient history.
You know what I mean? And then
We brought stuff up from that period. I mean, what do you want to do? Harp on the fact that he didn't turn Ric Flair babyface in '88? I mean, it's in 2000.
Yeah, but then why does everybody keep bringing that up? And when they write letters in about Dusty and, you know, and Hogan and all these guys, and then you get them on.
I haven't gotten letters about Dusty in like 8 years. I mean, it's 2000. I mean, you know, I haven't gotten a letter about Dusty Rhodes' booking, and I couldn't even tell you the last time. And believe me, I get letters. that is not a subject that people talk about anymore. I mean,
you guys get all these wrestlers on, and you're just kissing their ass. You know, like Vampiro, it's like, I'll call you later, Dave. You're supposed to be a journalist, not buddy-buddy with all these guys.
Vampiro. I've already said it on the show. The Vampiro show was a very different show. What can I say?
Yeah, we're talking about if Vince McMahon came out tomorrow and said, I don't want any kids watching Monday Night Raw, how do you prevent a kid from watching Raw? How do you prevent kids from watching Raw? If Vince McMahon came out and said, I don't want any kids watching Raw, anybody under the age of 12.
But that's okay. Now that would be the same as like the tobacco company saying
it's up to the parents right now to do that. So you know what I mean?
No. Okay, wait a minute. It depends on. It's up to you to put on a show for the people who are watching, for the demographics that are watching your show. You can say, I mean, if you can't say you're adult entertainment when some shows, including like Sunday Night Heat, are 41% kids watching.
Yeah,
I mean, you're fooling.
I'm talking about Raw. I'm talking about Monday Night Raw. This is
Monday Night Raw, which is about 32% kids.
Yeah, but if Vince McMahon came out and says, I don't want any kids
and Heat's even Raw.
What do you do? How do you stop kids from watching Raw?
You can't stop kids
from
Okay, first of all, the whole point of all this is that you put on a television show for the audience that's watching your show.
Yeah, okay.
That's the whole key. If the audience watching your show is kids, then you should put on a kid's show.
You don't make a show that's designed to attract kids.
How is Raw designed to attract kids?
The catchphrases. I mean,
catchphrases. Come on, catchphrases now are for kids. Come on.
Teenagers, absolutely. The whole Raw marketing is aimed at
one way. Come on.
You know what?
If you go on the street and you see an adult wrestling fan, mostly you'll see them wearing a T-shirt. If you see a teenage wrestling fan, you'll see him doing a karate chop.
He can't stop who watches his show,
or
nobody knows who watches the show. Okay, first of all, having been how many adults do you see running around going, do you smell what The Rock is cooking on the playground? You don't see it. See ya, bye. Don't insult my intelligence. Okay, let's go to Paul, New York.
Yeah, hi. How about WB Network for ECW?
If they can get on. I mean, I think Paul would die and go to heaven if he had national WB exposure. I mean, see ya!
Oh, my God.
He snuck in right before the show ended. Oh, man.
He could have at least asked about Abdullah.
Yeah, but then we would have known. Okay, let's go to Mike. Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Not too much.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah,
Mike,
listen,
you're on.
you know how they were calling on Raw on Monday night, they kept calling Trish Stratus, Vince McMahon's very good friend? They got that from Mayor Giuliani's girlfriend. When it was found out that Giuliani had a girlfriend, he denied it and said his very good friend Judith Nathan.
So that's where that's from.
There you go.
I mean, but they need Russo back in the WWF. I mean, they're hurting over there. Vince McMahon's very good friend.
Are you Russo?
Oh boy, okay. And one more thing, Bruce Mitchell. Last time you were on, I called up and I said that you were like,
how did he get through?
That the fans need to be educated to the luchadors and all those guys. Those wrestlers got to adapt their style to fit in here. This is not Mexico. When baseball players come over here, they got to learn how to play baseball our way.
We're American. Okay, wait a minute. Hey, hold on.
I can barely hear you, but
stop. Okay. When Nomo first came over, and he had that, what was the name of that pitch that none of them could hit the first time around? How come he had to adapt they had to adapt to him? Well, so anyway, not that that has anything to do with wrestling, I'm just making
real quick, let me just say, when El Duque and, Hideki Arabu, whatever his name is, when he came in, when those guys would get, roughed up in the game, they didn't want to give up the ball. They were like, we started the game in our country, we finish a game. They're like, that don't work here. You gotta do it our way. Hideki Arabu wouldn't field ground balls after somebody would get a hit on him. Somebody would get a home run, the next guy would hit a ground ball, he wouldn't run after the ball. They're like, no way, that don't fly here. They got to adapt their style here.
Like I just said with my point on Nomo, what does that have to do with wrestling?
Yeah, but this is what we like here. We like the big guy, Scott Steiner. You know, we don't like guys.
Well, Scott Steiner's drawing huge ratings and giant crowds right now.
But you know, you guys keep making excuses for all.
Bye, Mike. Bye, Mike. You know, if he would have said The Rock and Steve Austin, you know, that's okay. But you know, you can't bring out Scott Steiner and tell me, you know, like this is what people want when, you know, he's on top of a company that's dying. You know, I mean, not that Scott Steiner doesn't have potential to do well, but you just gotta be quicker on your feet, dude. Let's go to Star in Seattle. Star, what's going on?
Hey, Jim.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Me and my boyfriend last night were watching your Fan Week videotapes from 94 and 95.
Yes.
And, they're really great. I was wondering if you got a chance to beat the living shit out of Mark Madden.
No, actually, I never have, and actually, I also didn't know you could say that word on Dave's show, but if you can, he is a shithead. And, you know, actually, I wouldn't try to do that because beating the shit out of him, I'll say it again, would take all day. I'd rather beat his brains out because that'd only be a 2-minute job. But no, unfortunately, the only time that I've ever been in the same building with him since then was at the tribute show that they did for Brian Hildebrand in his hometown shortly before he passed away, and I didn't know that Madden was even going to be there until the night before, and there were discussions as to whether I should go home because I didn't want to cause an incident. And finally, they agreed to keep him upstairs, and I agreed to stay downstairs, and never the twain met. And that was not the venue for it. But at any other point, if I was ever in the same building, I don't care whether he's got a lawyer or not. He can sue me. He can stand in line. I will, if I ever get the chance to see him, do my dead level best to beat the snot out of him.
Damn right. Do you still go to Dairy Queen?
Yeah, there's Dairy Queen right down the street, and you know what? They get my order right every time.
That was great, though. That was great.
You know, I've been thinking, so many people have asked about the Dairy Queen thing. I'm thinking we should sell that tape on the website. I could probably make more money than selling the OVW television shows.
Now, is that the one with Lance Storm and everybody?
Well, actually, it was...
it was the J.R. Benson one, right?
Yeah, J.R. Benson shot it. It was me, J.R. Benson, Ron Hill, Chris Jericho, Brian Hildebrand, Jimmy Del Rey, and a couple of other people in a van coming back from a show one night. And the show hadn't done real well, so I was a little testy anyway. But
and then
maybe I'll put that on the website. I can have the exclusive copyright on that.
That'd be great. Yeah, me and my boyfriend think you're like one of the greatest men to walk in wrestling. We have a lot of respect for you and what you do. So.
Well, thank you very much, Star. I appreciate it.
Yeah. What's the name of the man that does this interview?
Me? Dave Meltzer.
Oh, sorry. I always forget the name of people who suck.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's go to Tom. Tom, what's up?
You ain't gonna rerun this show, are you, Dave?
This is the archive, like the Disciples of Sin.
Yeah, that's right.
One of Dave's favorite shows.
Interesting. You know what? I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I was just thinking about this during the break. I once, many years ago, had a breakup. And you're talking about being snubbed by a woman, right? And I never wanted to do what Vince did last night, but I will say that I did, in my fantasies, envision the thing from the week before. I didn't do it. I ended up, what did I do? I smashed a banana? Was it banana in her hair? Banana in her hair. Yeah, that was a famous banana in the hair scene. So anyway.
I was wondering, because there was a comment in The Observer last week where you said something like, I can't remember what it was, something like this wasn't as messy as some of my breakups. Or something along those lines, and I thought...
Oh, I was just saying that as a joke. But
I thought there might have been a story.
No, there was actually no hidden meaning to that comment, because I hadn't even thought of that at the time, but I did think of, oh my God. Oh my God.
All the memories are coming back now.
No! Do you know who knows the whole detailed story of the banana in the hair story?
Don't say Jim Cornette.
Knows it. No, Jim Cornette doesn't. Paul Heyman.
Uh-oh.
I talked to him later that night, went through the whole story blow by blow. He's booking WWF? Oh my God.
If there would have been a banana last week, that would have been proof.
I'm a pretty strong guy.
You were eating bananas when this breakup occurred? Or this breakup?
No, do you want to? Okay, we're going to talk about my breakup now instead of wrestling. I'll tell you the story. Okay, this is 1991, and it was the night. And I'll tell you. Okay, this was the night that Hulk Hogan lied on the Arsenio Hall show. Okay. All right. And I had just written an article for Sports Illustrated, and I was like exhausted, so I fell asleep. And my girlfriend at the time left, and then she came back and she was drunk. She was out with some friends and she was drunk. Okay. And we got into and she walked in right as Hulk Hogan was lying on the Arsenio Hall show, and he goes, you know, like, have you ever done steroids? And he goes, well, 3 times in my life to rehabilitate a torn bicep. You know the lie? And she looked at, I remember she looked at the thing and goes, oh my God, he's lying. He's killing his career. And I go, yep. So anyway, we got into a big fight a few minutes after that. That's how and she smashed a banana in my face and just was laughing hysterically because she was drunk. So this is, so about a couple weeks later we had the breakup. And so I actually, like, felt that as far as the breakup goes,
you had to complete the angle.
I was owed my retribution. And like I was like not going to like if I was never going to see this person again, I did in fact have to do something with a banana, and that was the spot. Okay? But as far as anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a story.
Is it really?
It is.
Yeah, you know what else? Not all that
I'm just thinking it's funny because I look at it from the whole wrestling standpoint, where you built up the spot with the banana, the second spot, by an incident that occurred a couple weeks earlier.
It's the story of my life, is all wrestling angles. But anyway, I had long since forgotten that whole banana story. I mean, not forgotten it, but I hadn't thought of it. And years later, I was in a phone conversation with Paul Heyman, and we were talking about this actually the same person. And he goes, remember when you put the banana with her hair? You know, and she, oh, by the way, just to make the story worse, she just got it permed earlier that day. So she couldn't wash it for several days, theoretically. So which was what made it really mean. But anyway, so he brought that, you know, years later when I had completely forgotten about it, he still remembered that story. So now we can go to John.
Dave, how you doing?
Doing really good.
Let me ask you a question here. My friend was on the internet. He read your website, and you said that WCW is going to be dying. How do you know the deal's not done yet and everybody's keeping it quiet?
I didn't say that it was going to be dying. I said that everybody should prepare for the fact that there may be a time that this company is not around, and there is a possibility that if the sale does not go through, there is a strong possibility that the company will not exist. If the sale goes through, it will exist for a while.
But how do you know it didn't already go through and everybody's keeping it quiet?
There's a possibility, but the point is that I was trying to make is even if the sale went through, you better prepare just like with ECW, because
Paulie was a cokehead.
What does that have to do with it? But it didn't make money. That had nothing to do with it.
The fact is the company knows.
The company lost money.
I know.
ECW lost $2.5 million, which is basically what WCW loses in 2 weeks. And the point is that Time Warner might be able to absolve those losses, but those kind of losses every 2 weeks, sooner or later, I'm saying, like, if they cannot turn it around, this company losing that kind of money that quickly is not going to be around forever.
Do you think Eric can turn it around?
Do I think he can? I think the odds are against him. I hope he does. I hope greatly that he does. But the odds, I would say, certainly the odds are against him.
Do you think that Vince Russo was sent there to ruin it and lose all that money for them?
No, I don't think that.
Why don't you think that? Why does all wrestlers think that?
There are wrestlers who think that, but...
and it's not all of them, but there are.
Nah, I don't even think the majority do. I mean, I think that people kind of do that with their conspiracy theories and everything. You know, I don't rule out, because it's Vince McMahon, the possibility that that's true, but it's one of those things where I really don't believe it. You know, I really don't.
Any reason?
Just the reactions of everyone, just the reactions of Russo. I don't think Russo's a good enough actor to have pulled it off to this degree, to pull it off like that.
But you don't think he tried to get all this pop?
And Russo did, you know, Russo really tried. I mean, I can't ever take the way that Russo worked really, really hard, and he really tried. It's just that his idea of what would work didn't work. I mean, miserably didn't work.
Why would he go out and bash at the beach and screw somebody that he couldn't get away with screwing? Where's Russo now? He's done. He's finished. He's in a video store somewhere selling videos because he fucked with Hogan.
We don't even know where he is. I don't know where he is. Why would he do that? I think he thought that he was going to outmaneuver Hogan.
And he got away with it for a while. He wasn't fired the next day. He laughed.
That's right. That's a miracle too. How that ever happened? That's the one I still haven't figured out. Is how come Siegel didn't just go, hey, you're out of your mind. So go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead, he sided with Siegel. Siegel made a lot of bad decisions. What can I say?
Because he didn't know how to run a wrestling company.
He knew nothing about wrestling whatsoever, and you cannot have someone running a wrestling company who knows nothing about wrestling. I think we've learned that rule over 13 years of WCW. We got to hit a break, okay?
Yeah.
Let's go to John in Florida. John, what's going on?
Dave, how you doing?
Doing really good.
Listen, I saw something on the internet. I don't know how true it is, but Dave Apter said, why would Eric Bischoff be on vacation in middle of negotiations unless he's celebrating?
Dave Apter doesn't exist. I think that's a spoof.
Do you think that's possible?
What's possible?
He's in Hawaii celebrating.
I hope he's celebrating.
No, that
he's not crying right now.
Done.
What? I mean, I know what he's there for, and I hope he's celebrating. He's not there for anything to do with wrestling, though.
Where in Hawaii? What part of Hawaii?
That I don't know. If I knew, I'd probably know more about what's going on.
But why would he be there during negotiations?
No, they stopped. Actually, Eric Bischoff's not even involved in these negotiations. That's the Fusion and Time Warner executives. Eric's a creative guy. Eric's not a money guy, which is good. I mean, that part of it's good.
But do you think the deal's going to go through?
I don't want to speculate because it would be really, even speculating one way or the other would be like leading on that I know more than I do and I don't. I think that there's a possibility that it will, and I've heard enough evidence on both sides to know that there's a possibility of either.
Because I already heard it's already done, and they're going to do it at Greed.
They may.
Or Monday night in Gainesville.
Or Monday night in, what was the other one? No, but that's the same thing. Okay, but see, now that kind of stuff, and I'm not saying it's not true because, as I said, I do not know. But, I mean, how many times when ECW was running out the string, there's 3 shows left that we heard, or 5 shows left, that we heard that on this date or on this pay-per-view, Paul's going to come in and announce, I got USA Network and everything is happy. I mean, it's like that's the nature of rumors. And it may be, and again, it may be true, but, there's no evidence of anything.
What do you think's going to happen at the pay-per-view? Is Ric Flair going to kiss Dusty's ass?
Oh, God.
Oh, that I don't know. Probably.
Ric Flair, his deal's probably coming due, or he's working without a contract, whatever the deal is right now. So.
Hey, Dave, I saw your home number on the net,
My home number?
It's on the internet. I have it written down.
Well, don't
That's
call
okay. I mean, my home number's in the Observer every week.
I think it's on the website.
It's not a big deal.
My friend called and he said he got some guy Rick.
Then maybe it's the wrong number that's on the internet. I don't know.
I don't know. But let me ask you this. Why is Vince McMahon the way he is?
I've been trying to figure that out for years.
Do you think he killed
I think it's a product of his upbringing, seriously.
It was an accident.
You think so? What makes you say this?
Because that's the only answer I could give you. It's heredity and environment that causes.
He's talking about Owen Hart. He's talking about Vince killed Owen.
Vince didn't kill Owen.
Let me ask you this. I heard Owen wanted out of his contract to go with Brett to WCW. Then a couple of weeks later, they tell him go up top, and he's afraid of heights. And then all of a sudden he falls. Don't you find something fishy there?
I do not, for one second, think that Vince McMahon did anything to cause that to happen, or that he's anything but sorry. Why would he? He didn't have anything against Owen Hart. He wouldn't even do that to Bret Hart, although I'm sure he's had thoughts of doing it. But he wouldn't do it. I mean, there's a lot of things that Vince McMahon is, and there's a lot of things that he isn't, but that isn't one of them. And certainly not to Owen Hart. No way. I mean,
but he wanted out of his contract.
There's been a lot of people that wanted out of their contracts that he hasn't killed.
And that were not nearly as nice people as Owen Hart either. And he did ask. I mean, it wasn't. How do I say? It wasn't like he demanded and threw a fuss. And just there are guys like Kevin Wackholz, although it was one out of his contract, but Kevin Wackholz grabbed him and I mean, if he wanted to kill someone, choked him out, and then said that Vince sexually harassed or grabbed him and all this. If there was ever anyone who Vince McMahon would probably have good reason to want to send up there and cut the cord, that would be the guy. Certainly not Owen Hart. And
I was Jesse Ventura over Owen Hart for crying out loud.
Yeah. Man, and he brought him back twice now.
Oh, I just remember something else. If WCW is going to fold, why are they signing all the guys they're signing?
They're not signing anyone.
Jerry Lawler?
They haven't signed Jerry.
He hasn't signed yet.
Not yet, but obviously he's gonna.
Well, if you're running a business, you can't if Eric, obviously you're going to talk about the future if there is a future. I mean, if you're in a business, you plan the future until basically the day you fold. I mean, that's just the nature of a business. They're not telling all the employees, it's like if they went in there and just go, oh, by the way, everybody, we're actually running out of money and we're folding in 2 months. Do you know how bad the TV shows would be for the next 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I shouldn't say anything about that. But
I'll tell you though, if the deal is done, none of the wrestlers, that I've talked to, and there's a whole bunch of those, no one knows about it.
Yeah.
No one's got
it is, I mean, I don't put it past the possibility that Bischoff wants to announce it on his own time and probably during an angle. If it is done, but I don't know that that's true.
Well, let me ask you this: what Ric Flair said Monday night that he put Savage and Hogan, is that a hint?
I was afraid of that hint. Well, okay, now the angles that they're running the angles based on the idea that it's going to be sold. Yes, I mean for sure.
So he's going to. The writers don't know
if it is.
But the writers don't know anything either. Yeah.
That's just Ed Ferrara and Johnny Ace.
But I mean, I'm saying, could that be a hint that these guys are returning?
Absolutely, yes. It scared me to death, but yes, it's a hint. But everyone knows that that's a possibility.
All right, Dave.
Although Piper's a long shot. Anyway, we got to get running, okay?
He's gone. Don't call that number, dude.
Let's go to Richard in Toronto. Richard.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeff?
Hey, Richard.
Yeah. Okay. Why did you say the thing about the WoW pay-per-view that they didn't have any ring psychology? Give me an example of that.
Give you an example of the lack of ring psychology?
Yeah, but because you called it one of the worst pay-per-views. Dan Legransky called it Plan 9 Unleashed. So why was it called, why did you say there was no ring philosophy? They're only been in the thing for 8 months. They're not experienced people, they're not the indie-type wrestlers. How do you expect them to learn so quickly?
What do you have pay-per-view for then?
Why do you have pay-per-view? Because I've never seen it. How come we never seen it in 70s women wrestling?
That's enough. Let's go to Al.
What'd you cut off for?
He was good.
Let's start with phone calls. We're going to start with Terry. Terry, what's up?
Hello, how you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, yes, I got a question. Okay, you thought there was too many egos with the WCW stable, like putting 2 or 3 world champions in one stable?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like putting Kevin Nash, about 3 main eventers in one stable, like the Magnificent Seven, like they got right now in the band and the NWO. So WWF don't put all them heavyweights in one stable like that.
I don't think they need to. I think that they want the top guys not to be in a stable. I think the whole thing is the top guys shouldn't be in a stable. There should be individuals.
Yeah, because WCW got these top guys in stables. Like the band, they had Kevin Nash, Big Papa Pump, and Jeff Jarrett all in one stable.
Yep.
And like they got now, like they got the Magnificent Seven. Who are the top guys? They got Lex Luger. Big Papa Pump, and Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
And like the NWO, they had the same thing
going
too.
Animal, there's a bunch of them.
WCW's always done stable, so.
Yeah,
they put too many egos in them, basically. But in the WWF, it's like they got all the top stars as individuals.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I kind of figured it worked better if they just have the top guys as individuals, but it's kind of hard to let WCW know that right there.
Well, I think it's a little late.
Yeah, you're right about that, too.
Yeah.
And, matter of fact, do you like the Wolfpack angle?
The Wolfpack angle years ago? Sure.
Yeah, because I figured K-Dog was over, but Eric Bischoff was overlooking him a lot.
K-Dog was over, but he made...
destroyed his career.
You know, I mean,
WCW.
Yeah, whatever. There were people who wanted him out. He was out. It's a very political game.
Yeah, because he was pretty much getting over, and I thought he had he did a lot more wrestling back then too, like than he do now.
Well, he didn't much have a chance last night, that's for sure. There wasn't any. There wasn't going to be any. He wasn't going to do any wrestling holds there. Could you imagine if he tried to do one of those Mexican stretches moves?
Mm-hmm.
Steiner would have he would have just twisted him into a pretzel.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't stand Rick Steiner at all. I wouldn't even bring him back on TV, and it'd be ridiculous to team him up with Big Papa Pump all the time too.
Well, I would say that you don't have to worry about that. Maybe. Unless Eric Bischoff buys the company. Then you probably do.
Oh, no, I don't want no Bischoff to buy no company.
Well, it'd be the best thing for wrestling if you could, and you could make a go of it, but it's a lot of odds against that happening.
Yeah, and Bischoff is spending too much money, too.
Maybe.
Like he's always been doing. Yeah, he showed up for trying to bankrupt Ted Turner.
Yeah. We got to go, Terry, okay?
All right, thank you.
Let's go to John in Florida. John, what's going on?
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
We're doing fine.
Hey, listen, do you think Eric Bischoff's announcement next week on Nitro is all we're working? He's going to say, we got the deal, we're going to Fox.
If he's got the deal and they're going to Fox, yeah, he doesn't have it today.
And is it true? Somebody told me he has no power. How's he making matches and telling everybody to come here if he's got no power? Something's fishy there, don't you think?
It's fake. No, Eric Bischoff's in control of creative, and he's been paid by Turner. He's got a contract with Turner, and this is his job, and he's doing his job. That's all.
But do you think it's an angle next week?
Next week is it. What are you talking? There are no more angles. It's over. It's over on that station forever. Okay? Maybe not forever.
I understand that, but I'm saying the angles that they're starting, are they going to continue on to Fox?
If they have it signed, then maybe that's what he will announce. But if they don't have it signed, then they can't announce it. Then they cannot
announce that.
Because
there is no deal. There is no deal today, or there was no deal as of this morning. And there may be one. I mean, things change on a moment-by-moment basis. There was no deal this morning.
Jason Shire said when he called WCW last night, a lot of guys backstage said that wasn't Eric talking, that was somebody else talking, and they believe it's all a work.
Oh, brother. See ya.
Well, if that's the case.
See, we should go to Charles in, where's Charles in Connecticut? Okay, Charles, what's going on?
How you doing, Dave?
Doing really good.
I have a few questions. First of all, is it a definite that WCW is off the Turner Networks?
Yes, that's a definite. Monday's the last show.
Is that just for a period of time or permanently?
No. It's well, I mean, I don't want to say for forever because 10 years from now, they might get a new manager who likes wrestling. But I mean, it's not coming back in September. I mean, they're in the process. Turner TBS is in the process of getting Friends and Seinfeld as primetime shows, and they just don't care about wrestling anymore.
So it's going to be more than a month to shut down at least?
I don't know. I'm almost going to scream, Brian.
Yeah. It's off the network because it's been canceled. And that means that it's not going to be a month. It's not going to be 6 months. It will probably be forever.
The company will either be on another network, which is a slim chance, and I mean the odds are very slim of this happening. It will either be revived on another network with new ownership in a couple of months, or it will be sold to the World Wrestling Federation, and a couple of guys will go there, and the name WCW may exist for a short period of time for a WWF angle to kill it. But ultimately, at that point, at that point, if it's sold to the WWF, the company is dead.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
What can I say?
Quite a crew of callers today.
You were talking about WCW calling the show a season finale, but if you remember last year, they took a break after the spring break show. But yes, I agree, this is more severe.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just say something real quick. I know that there are a lot of you out there that are very sad that WCW is going to die, and I know that Eric Bischoff in the past has done a lot of things and done some angles and tried to fool the wrestlers and a lot of people. And I also know that a lot of people are backyard wrestlers and have made tapes of some of your matches. And if you have a tape of your matches and you want to air it on TNT this Monday, you can't do it because TNT is not going to put your show on the air. And Time Warner owns TNT and TBS, and they have decided that they don't want wrestling. So they have canceled Nitro and Thunder. those shows are not going to air perhaps ever again. So it's not going to be a hiatus. They're not going to be off for a couple of months. They're not going to take the break after spring breakout. They're canceled, and they're done. I have a story today that has absolutely nothing to do with the wrestling world. Actually, it does, and it will interest absolutely nobody except you, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Okay.
Every Tuesday night, and you will relate to this, I email the newsletter to the print shop, and they print up the newsletters, and I go pick them up Wednesday. There's this giant box of newsletters. I take them home. I put stamps on them. I put labels on them. I bundle them up and put rubber bands around them, put them back in the box, take them to the post office, drop it off, and they proceed to mangle them and deliver them in the wrong address.
Destroy them and rip them up, yeah.
Not deliver them at all in some cases. Well, anyway, I thought that I had seen the stupidest thing ever many times with the post office, and they topped it today when yesterday when I brought the box in, as I've been doing for 6 years now, full of newsletters, stamped, labeled, and bundled. What did they do, Dave? They taped the box back shut. They mailed it back to the print shop with a bill for postage, too.
Oh, my God. So that means that only of the week of the biggest news story that you've ever covered.
I was up so late Tuesday night to get this thing done. I worked my ass off Wednesday to make sure they all went out on time, and the post office delivered them back to the print shop.
So you're going to be like a couple of days late on the biggest story you've ever covered.
Yeah.
That is just so...
And seriously, I think it was like the longest article I ever wrote, and I was so happy, and I thought, man, it's done. And what do? They mail it back to the print shop.
I've actually never had that one happen. I've had many things happen, but not quite that.
Cool. And I have two last questions. One for Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking forward to working with Billy Gunn?
I'm sorry?
Are you looking forward to working with Billy Gunn?
Billy Gunn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Because he should be in OVW shortly.
Oh, ouch.
Oh. Okay, let's go to Mark. What's up?
Hello, Dave.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good.
I'm a first-time caller. I just, earlier this year, got into listening to your show, and I think you do a great show, and just had some questions about the whole WCW thing I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
Do you think it's legit, or do you think this is some kind of master gimmick that Eric Bischoff's come up with?
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
I was just curious. I mean...
no, it's unless he convinced Vince McMahon and the New York Times to work his angle with him.
Yeah. Well, what have you heard recently on it? I mean, what's going to happen with WCW?
It's almost, if it has not been sold in the last couple of hours to WWF, it's pretty imminent unless something breaks down at the last minute. I mean, Vince McMahon all but confirmed it. You know, I mean, he said in all likelihood they would own it, and I mean that time frame is probably hourly or daily as opposed to like not even a week when they will own it.
Well, I just like to say that you and Brian do a good show. You treat your callers with a heck of a lot more respect than Jeremy Borash or Bob Ryder do. Because I called in last night to them on WCW Live, and I understand they're probably getting tired of being asked about the whole WCW thing, but Jeremy Borash was a little bit kind of rude to me, and then I got cut off when I was talking to him, so I thought that was kind of rude. But I just like to say y'all do a great show, and keep up the good work, and look forward to seeing what happens with WCW and everything. So take care, guys.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, let me get into this.
Can't yell at a nice caller.
No.
We've got Tom Zink on the phone. We also have Jeff Merrick here of Live Audio Wrestling. Brian Alvarez, of course, of Figure 4 Weekly. Tom, what's going on?
My three favorite guys, Jeff Merrick, Dave Meltzer, and Brian. How are you, Brian? My God, Brian, if I had a grandson, I'd want one like him. You've really got a pulse on the business, my boy. I'm sure you saw this coming. That Fusian deal, I think they're just some dirty, rotten scoundrels there with that Eric Bischoff. I never liked him. How are you, fellas?
Hey, let's go to Dan. Dan,
Hey,
what's up?
What's
Hey,
up
how are
with you?
What's up with me?
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
What's going on with Vince McMahon?
As far as? He
Is
just
he
bought
not
WCW?
quitting? I heard that he was quitting.
Quitting what?
Quitting the whole wrestling thing. He wants to devote everything into his XFL thing.
What do you want?
Were
Give me
Mike and
some
the
of
Mad
that
Dog
stuff.
a second ago?
What's that?
Were you listening to Mike and the Mad Dog?
No, I was listening. I called in, and that's what I heard you guys say.
Oh, we did not say that.
So Vince McMahon, as far as you know, is not quitting.
What are
He's
you
not
smoking?
quitting. No, absolutely not.
Give me some of that.
Yelling
Why
at
do
me,
you?
I'm just saying.
Where's this call coming from? Jamaica, man.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Listen, is this true or not?
Vince McMahon is not quitting wrestling by any way, shape, or form. He just bought WCW yesterday.
I heard that he did it as a tax write-off.
He's got an XFL. I don't think he needs tax write-offs for this money.
Very
Shit,
good.
piss, fuck, cock, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
All right,
Shit,
bye.
piss, fuck.
It's a shame when cousins marry.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was Dan from the Dan and Scott show. They wanted to play a little prank.
Dan been running on us.
Very good.
All right, we're gonna go to John in Florida. John, how you doing today?
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Listen, I got a question to ask you. Is anything going to happen at WrestleMania that's supposed to happen with the WCW guys and the WWF guys?
Everything that's supposed to happen hopefully will happen. As far as for the WCW guys, I'm not sure. I think that they should. I think something should happen.
Because I think Wade Keller's full of shit, to be honest with you.
What's he saying?
What do you say?
He's got pretty
you
good
should
sources.
hear him. Booker T's going to be in Shane's corner. He's going to challenge The Rock.
Maybe they'll do that. That wouldn't be the worst. That's not the worst idea in the world. They still got to make a lot of deals because right now, everyone's pretty much on hold. If they can make it'd be a good part of the show as far as, I have not heard of anything happening, but at the same time, I'm probably the person that they wouldn't tell that to first, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At least until after the show. After the show, they'll tell me, but I don't think they'll tell me before.
Is it
If Linda wasn't going to be there in the wheelchair, I would think for sure that somebody would be in Shane's corner. But the fact that she's there, I don't know.
It almost distracts, because I think the big pop's Linda coming out, and if there's too many things going on, but then again, it's Vince's match, so there are going to be too many things going on, because there has to be. It's Vince,
Is it true about Sting?
What about Sting?
They're reporting that he don't want to work for Vince, so he's going to retire.
I think that's a very good chance, yes. Nothing's for sure. Believe me, nothing's for sure, but I would not be surprised that that's not how that winds up. Sting's never really wanted to work there. He's expressed that. He's got a great contract that he could sit out on. Retire's a funny word because, when the contract's up in 10 months or a year, whenever Sting's contract's up, by then he may want to work there, and they may want him a lot. You never know where the business is going to be in a year. There may be a spot for, someone that they need in a hurry. You just can't predict the future in wrestling.
What are these guys going to do when the money runs out at the end of their contract?
Then I think that either if they saved enough money, they may retire, or they'll go to work for Vince. They're not going to have much else
I don't need to work
That's
no
about
more.
it. What?
Nash said I don't need to work no more. I got plenty. I got millions.
He does have millions.
Yeah, Nash is too cool. You got to remember that, and Nash is never going to sell the fact that they don't want him. So if he thinks they don't want him, which seems to be the idea, he's going to make it out like he doesn't want them. That's just the way he's going to do it.
Yeah.
And
any truth to HHWF happening?
HHW. What? Am I missing something?
Hulk Hogan's Wrestling Federation with
Yeah, I'm sure he's always talking to people who know the problem. We talked about it all week. The problem's TV. There's enough talent out there to start a new company if you've got a great television time slot.
But I thought Rupert Murdoch wanted Hulk Hogan.
At times he did, but wrestling's got people see wrestling on the downslide, and the TV is not that. These stations, obviously, if Rupert Murdoch wanted wrestling that bad, Eric Bischoff would have a company would have a new company to be on Fox. Obviously, he doesn't want it that bad because that hasn't happened.
What's the
fact that Vince is getting 11 o'clock time slot should tell you a lot.
Yeah, that's the other thing. In fact, Vince is getting 11 on TNN, which is a weak station. At the best, he's getting his 11 o'clock time slot. That tells you what the television. It's
Vince
the
of all people.
Vince, yeah, the advertising
community. On a station he
saved.
saved.
Yeah, the advertising community is not hot on wrestling right now. It's just the reality of the situation.
What's the chances of all the guys sitting out their contracts and Eric and Vince not wanting it and selling it back and Eric buying it?
0%.
Why?
That Vince is not selling this to anyone. Vince didn't buy away his competition to give someone a key back into the door.
You think it was
he's not going to build it up and then sell it?
Yeah.
What's the argument? Why did he buy it? I don't understand why.
To keep the competition away. As long as he's got the rights to these guys, actually, as long as it keeps, basically keeps the competition away. That's the reason. He's got it all. Plus, hey, interpromotional done right. Interpromotional should make money.
All right, Dave. Thanks.
Artist in Chicago. Artist.
Yo, how you doing, guys?
Doing good.
My question is, I was wondering, I've been watching the WWF for a long time, and I was wondering, what's going on with the tag team division?
What do you mean?
Kind of got Edge and Christian and the Dudleys and the Hardys still fighting for the top spot.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to definitely go for Edge and Christian because I'm from Toronto, and I was wondering, anywhere down the line now, Edge and Christian gonna sometime get another title shot.
They got the belts last night.
Oh man, I missed it. I just got back from Detroit.
Yep, they got the belts last night in the tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Oh man, because about a week ago I just saw the Fanatic series, and with their last meeting they did was at No Way Out or something. And I really have to commend both of them because I'm really big fans of them.
They're good performers, and they're funny as hell.
Yeah, and I also love Matt and Jeff Hardy, man. I just respect the things that they've done, and especially I was wondering what's going on with Lita. Is she going to continue managing them, or she's going to be doing something else?
I think a little bit of both. I think she'll be with Matt because they're doing that love interest thing, and then she'll, obviously wrestle singles, and I don't know what they'll do, if they'll build up her against China, or it doesn't seem like a good matchup right now for either side. It's too much trickiness in that.
Yeah,
but she'll wrestle against one of the women and do some sort of a program, I got a feeling.
Right.
Can you imagine China trying to take that diving Frankensteiner off the top rope?
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, and I was also wondering what's going to happen to Bradshaw and Farouk. I heard they're one of the top tag teams right now.
They are there. They're kind of just filling out space right now. I don't think that there's any real plans for them. They got a gimmick, people kind of pop for them, but there's not a whole hell of a lot they can do with them. So they're just kind of there. We're gonna get going okay, because we got a lot of calls we got to get to. Okay.
Okay, keep doing the work.
Okay, let's go to Dave in is it San Diego?
Hey Dave, how you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, first of all, you got some idiots that are calling, man. I mean, that last caller was ridiculous. Yes, you win the belts. Come on.
I want to go to Alex in Puerto Rico since he's calling on a payphone. Alex, what's going on?
Hello?
Hey, Alex, what's going on?
Yo,
Alex, you're on.
Is Brian Alvarez there?
Yeah,
Brian Alvarez is there.
I subscribed to your newsletter.
Okay.
I still haven't got my free booklets yet.
Okay. Yeah, we ran out a couple of weeks ago. Just get your address to me, and I'll send them out to you.
Alexander Arce.
Actually, I don't think you should give it on the air. Can you, do you have a computer with email?
No.
You don't? Okay, just send it via postal mail, and I'll get it to you.
You got my home address, right?
Yeah, what's your, just give me your first name.
You probably don't have a lot of Alexes in Puerto Rico on the list.
Alex in Puerto Rico?
No.
Okay, I'll get it out to you, buddy.
Alexander Arce.
Okay. All right, give it to me, buddy.
Okay, you gonna mail it out?
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
You have my address, right?
I got it.
Okay, I'd like to ask you something. Is ECW gonna come back like the NWA did?
No.
They just filed bankruptcy. They're dead.
When they died?
Well, I guess officially they officially died Wednesday, but they really died in January.
After guilty as charged, right?
Yeah, a week later.
I would like
that would have been their last show.
WCW Worldwide, is that still on syndication?
WCW Worldwide, maybe, but if it is, it'll only be like for another week or so.
Excuse me?
If it is, it'll only be for another week or so. I'm not sure when the last episode is. I think they may have done the last episode already.
I was wondering, what day is the new Nitro coming on TNN?
Saturday night, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Starting June the 9th. Tentatively June the 9th. It could be June 16th.
June 16th?
June 9th right now could be June 16th.
Because my cable company, Centennial Cable, does not carry TNN.
Uh-oh.
You'll have to give him a call.
A bunch of cheap asses.
Yeah, you should give him a call and say, I want TNN.
A lot of cable companies are like that.
That's why Raw's not going.
That's why I would switch to a dish. So I can watch those annoying commercials that say, you switch to a dish, now you'll never get another girlfriend.
Oh, that's right.
Dave.
Yes.
There was this show in Hatillos on WrestleMania weekend, put on by the Iman Latin Wrestling show group here in Puerto Rico. They got some good stars.
How was the shows? Did you go do any of the IWA shows over the weekend?
No, I've seen it on Channel 12. Miguel Perez dressed up as a mummy.
Right.
He came out and started attacking Star Corporation.
Yeah. I heard it was hot.
And Shane the Clown Boy won the belt again in Bayamon.
I heard that was an awesome match, too.
Yeah, so a friend of mine told me. And he heard from the internet that Gran Apollo and Ricky Banderas are turning heel against Shane the Clown Boy.
Yeah, Gran Apollo looks like he's going heel, yeah.
I would like to know, since WWF bought WCW, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Will they start sending their stars to Puerto Rico, the WCW workers?
To IWA? I guess they could. I mean, that certainly is not in the plans right now. The only guy I heard that's being sent to Puerto Rico regularly is Russ McCullough's going starting Friday. Who's an OVW guy.
What you say?
Russ McCullough.
Rusty who?
Russ
He's
McCullough.
from Ohio Valley Wrestling. He's not on WWF TV yet.
He looks like Kevin Nash. Unfortunately.
Damien
only got a
looks
haircut.
like Kevin Nash.
What? Yeah, he looks like Kevin Nash, Russ McCullough.
I heard that he's going to be given the junior heavyweight belt again.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
So is Ray Gonzalez going to the new WCW?
I seriously doubt it. Seriously.
Why to that?
Yeah.
He's 8 times Universal Champion here in the WWC.
I heard 12 times, but it doesn't really matter.
But who's counting? I'd like to know.
I remember seeing Ray Gonzalez, years ago in Japan. He was pretty good.
Don't you ever? Excuse me.
I don't get tapes from Puerto Rico. I haven't seen a Puerto Rico tape in years, unfortunately.
Well, I enjoy Brian's newsletter so much. That's
so what?
My friend. And my friends couldn't believe that ECW died. And most of my friends couldn't believe WCW went out of business.
Yeah, it's a sad day in wrestling.
It's been a sad year. It's been a sad year in wrestling. Anyway, we got to go. Okay.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can you send me a sample issue of the Wrestling Observer?
Yeah, Brian emailed me his address. He doesn't.
Will do.
And I'll send him an issue. Okay?
We'll take care of you, Alex.
Let's go to Alex in Puerto Rico. Alex, what's up?
Yes. Can I talk to Don Callis real quick?
You certainly can.
I read in a local newspaper here in Puerto Rico a couple months ago. ECW was on a local channel, but when I turned it on, for the time that ECW will come on, it didn't come on.
Yeah. I don't know if Don's going to know about that.
How long ago was this that you read this?
October of last year.
Okay. I thought this was like recently because the company no longer exists.
I mean like last year, because a lot of fans started calling a local channel here in Puerto Rico to start carrying ECW. They actually had it listed on the programming schedule and the newspapers, and when it came on time to watch ECW, it didn't come on.
Oh, do you ever hear anything about a Puerto Rico TV deal?
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I never had heard anything about it either.
Maybe it was a typo.
WCW and they printed an E or something? No.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But like I was saying, how is WCW going to have book tickets for the new Nitro?
What do you mean?
Like Nitro's coming on what, June 16th? Right?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
How are they going to get people to come to see Nitro in the arena if there's no tickets for sale and no venue?
There'll be tickets for sale. There will be tickets for sale long before the first show. I promise that.
Well, they don't have to put tickets on sale because they don't have any shows yet, so they don't have to worry about getting people to the arenas that are not booked.
And it's
the day they officially announce the arenas, I have a feeling the tickets will go on sale very shortly after that.
Like I was saying, do you think that first show WCW will have will be in Madison Square Garden?
Absolutely
no
not.
Way.
Absolutely not. They're gonna be smart and they're gonna go to a place that probably holds 5,000 to 7,000 people. They go into some place that holds 20,000 people and they will not. No, absolutely not.
Okay, I saw IWA this Sunday. The big guy that came in,
Russ McCullough.
He looked like Kevin Nash and the Big Show put together into one.
I think we always used to say that. He's got to find his own identity badly because he can't come in looking like either of those guys, or everyone's going to go, "Oh, he looks too much like those."
When
two guys.
Jim Ross makes fun of you saying you need to find your own identity, that should send you a message right there.
Yeah, like Thunder and Lightning in the WWC, they look like rip-offs of Kane.
Of who? Of Kane?
Thunder and Lightning in the WWC, they look like they follow their outfits from Kane.
Oh, and then wasn't there like legal action about that at one point? Like early on when Thunder and Lightning first came out, that they looked so much like Kane that McDivitt sent them a nasty letter. I think that happened. It seems
they had the masks and everything.
Yeah, they look like the same outfit as Kane, but in a different color, blue.
Yeah. At the beginning, I think at the beginning it was like almost too close.
Okay, like I was saying, how many cable companies are signing on to get TNN?
Almost all of them in this country. They're in 81 million homes now.
How about in Puerto Rico?
I have no idea about Puerto Rico. I don't know.
And also one thing, is WCW going to start having like after Nitro more their syndicated show again?
No, that's not in the cards right now. It's just one TV, which would be a Nitro taping, or another name for 2 hours that they would be doing. There may, if it's popular, they may start syndication at some point down the road. But right now, that's not the plan.
So Don, can I talk to Don Callis?
Go ahead.
Yes, you can.
Excuse me, Cyrus, or you want to call yourself Don?
Whatever.
Why did you sign on with TNN? You should have signed on with Fox or ABC. Would have kept half the money.
Yeah, that's
He's got you there.
I was enjoying ECW, even bought a pay-per-view from you people. And yet you let TNN take your money to buy the WWF, the rights to air Raw.
It wasn't exactly like that, but maybe it looks that way from the outside.
They stole ECW's money, thus ECW went out of business.
Those bastards.
I want to start with James in Kentucky. James, you're first up with Billy.
How you doing?
Hey, all right.
Doing good.
I just want to say you're a real inspiration to me when I'm thinking about getting into the wrestling business, and you're an inspiration to me.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And there's two Billy Grahams in this world that I love. Reverend Billy Graham and the superstar Billy Graham.
All right. Hey, man, they used to give my, the airline ticket agencies used to get my name mixed up with the Reverend Billy Graham. And when I'd say I'd give them a itinerary for Billy Graham, they would say to me, "You mean you're the real Billy Graham?" He thought I was the Reverend. But, yeah, well, I appreciate that very much. I certainly do.
Hey, Dave?
Yes?
I got a nickname for you, Dynamite Dave.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
You can write that down, Dave.
That's pretty impressive.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Okay, thanks very much.
Bye.
Okay, bye. See, I was watching a show on the Sunshine Network today. It was showing classic wrestling from a Carolina organization called North American Wrestling Association. During a six-man tag, one of the teams had Sam Houston and two other guys. One of the guys looked like Ken Shamrock, but he wrestled by a different name. That was Vince Torelli, and it is Ken Shamrock's original wrestling name.
Vince Torelli.
Yeah. Vince Torelli. Isn't there a guy with that name in Oregon now?
It's my friend Vince. His name is Vince Verhey, and we used to always call him Vince Torelli because that was Shamrock's name. And one day I was looking through a ring around the Northwest, and he was talking, and Mike Rogers was talking about one of those wrestlers' reunions, and there was this dude named Shoulders, and I said, there just haven't been enough shoulders in this business lately, so I called him Shoulders Torelli, and the name stuck.
So that's the Torelli, okay.
That is the story.
What was your thoughts of the Heroes of Wrestling show?
His was Jake the Snake Roberts.
And wrestling Jake the Snake Roberts.
Well, that's the good one. Actually, I felt pretty good in that match. But this little promoter, independent promoter, can't remember his name now, runs out of northern upstate New York.
Mike Henry, maybe?
No, Michael Bryan?
Michael Bryan, yeah.
Real nice guy, always treated me great. He goes, "Yeah, Jake, we want you to do a job for Jake." I said, "I'm not doing it." And then he goes, "Okay." He comes back 5 minutes later. He goes, "You have to do a job for Jake." I said, "I'm not doing it. How many times have I tell you guys? I'm not doing it." Jake's back there smoking a crack pipe, and didn't bother to share it or anything. I'm just kidding. But I said, "This guy's smoking a crack pipe back here, and you want me to put him over? I don't know what he's going to do in the ring."
that was a prophecy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so then 10 months later, Mike goes, Jim, wants you to do a job for... I said, how many times do I have to say I'm not doing it? So I go out there, I make my entrance, we haven't got any finish whatsoever. Jake comes out and goes, all right, I'll do it, I'll put you over. Then Bundy was my partner, and Yokozuna was Jake's partner. And Jake was so out of it that and damn near killed him. You know, we managed to get the match through, but then Jake started doing all that shit with the snake and putting it in his mouth and his crotch and everywhere. Had that horrible interview, and it was quite the night to remember.
Yes, it was.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah, I know. We're going to run to James in Kentucky. James, how are you?
Pretty good. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, Dynamite Dave.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Jim?
Yeah?
I'm a real big fan of yours, and I was wanting to know, are you going to be in the new WCW?
I'll tell you, I'm training really hard and making a real effort at making a serious comeback with either one of the groups or both groups or the combined group or whatever. But I would definitely like to make a real nice comeback with one of the two groups.
Yeah. Dave, I got a question for you, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's about the Raw on Monday night. I watched it, and they had low rating. What was their rating by the...
It was a 5.0. It was down a tenth from the week before.
Oh, yeah.
It's not pretty much the same. Low. Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't call it a low rating, but you know, it's like the rating hasn't moved since WCW went off the air. So I think that's got to be disappointing. I'd call it a disappointing rating, but not, 5.0 this day and age for a cable show, you can't call that a low rating.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
At the end of that match on the main event, Stone Cold and them.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a little bit too violent?
Oh, with the chairs and everything like that?
Yeah, hitting them.
To me, it's the same thing
Any
that's
other
been done for
beating.
weeks. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
not. There's sometimes Vince McMahon forgets there's little children watching this, and
no, he doesn't forget. He just.
I don't think he forgets. He just doesn't really care.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Well, there is no real censorship on any of the TV shows anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is Brett coming back to wrestling soon?
No.
Okay, Jim, would you tell Brett I say hello?
Will do.
James from Kentucky. And I still think about Owen every day, and I'll never forget Owen.
Yeah, a lot of people do up here too, and all over the world.
Yeah.
Tragic. It's horrible.
Yeah, it is. And it's nice talking to you. And
all right.
Thanks, James.
James, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Dynamite Dave.
Yes.
James, how come I don't have a nickname yet?
I'm thinking of one for you.
Okay.
I'll get back with you on that. And I just want to say that I watched Raw last night, and other Raws I watched, fan of longer matches.
Well, you're not going to be happy a lot.
I know, but 7-8 minutes match, okay too.
Well, we got Austin's match went 7 minutes.
Yeah,
that was the
and
only
plus
one.
Jericho and them. And
oh yeah, Jericho. That's right. They went like 10 minutes. Yeah.
And that was my two favorite matches. And that I think if they kept the wrestlers in there for that light heavyweight title match, like another 7 minutes or so, that would have been a great match. It went
I think a particular crowd would have gone for that. Yeah.
It's like I blinked and it was over.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, and I would like to say that if the WWF would quit, who cares about what every once in a while? Every once in a while, what goes on in the back? People's interested, but the Dynasty, Dallas, Notch Landing era is over, and people's just not interested. Like me, I got old tapes. If I want to watch a Dynasty in Dallas, people.
Dave has those old tapes too.
What now?
Do you have those old Dallas tapes, Dave?
Yeah.
No, I have none of them.
J.R. Ewing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember J.R. Ewing.
Are you talking about the soap opera and the WWF? Is that what you're comparing it to?
Yes.
Soap
opera.
Okay.
See, I'm
you watched when you were a kid.
I'm a fan of
With your
the
grandma.
80s also, when they just had matches.
I was a big fan in the 80s, too, but that was in the 80s. I was a big fan of the 80s.
I like the 80s music, by the way, too.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but I don't want to be like re-releasing it either.
Okay, Dave, what you were saying that they was going to put Benoit and Jericho against the Christian and Edge?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You think pretty soon? I believe that'll happen at the tonight's taping or whenever it is of SmackDown.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a good match coming up for the next pay-per-view, Benoit versus Kurt Angle in a ladder match with the medals
We've had
on.
so many we've had so many ladder matches. We had Benoit and Jericho in a ladder match this year. Then we had the tables, ladders, and chairs at WrestleMania. It's like, it's going to be like the cage where you do it so much that you've killed it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I really think
I really just don't want to see. I don't think those guys could. I don't know if I want to say that. I don't think they could have a good ladder match together. But just looking at those two, you don't think. Well, I guess Benoit maybe, but not Angle. You just don't think ladder match. What's Angle going to do in a ladder match?
Well, he'll try to do anything he can to get them medals back. You know what I mean?
Yes, so.
Yeah, they got to do something with those medals.
Yeah.
Maybe medals on a pole.
How about the winner? The winner is the guy who tears off the loser's pants.
Oh.
I don't want to see that either.
Yeah, Dave. I just wanted to tell you
when
how
they do
much
that one, then we know they're really in trouble.
I'm a dedicated wrestling fan.
Uh-huh.
You know how long I've been on the phone waiting to get on there? I've been on here a whole hour.
Wow.
That's how dedicated I am.
Cool.
And tomorrow, Bobby Heenan's going to be on, right?
Yes, he is.
That's right.
And it's not like one-time thing. I could call back in tomorrow and talk to Bobby.
You can call to talk to Bobby Heenan. Yes, you can. In fact, I encourage you to do so.
Okay. And also, I would like to say that would be deemed the meeting of the mind.
What did you say? I missed that.
The meeting of the mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta run to a break right now.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be back right after.
Talk to you tomorrow, James.
John, you're up next.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Brain Man. God, you just kick ass, dude.
How you doing?
Good. I had a couple questions. Were the rumors true about Okerlund picking up the 16-year-old farm girls?
Okay. See you later. Let's go to Matt.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Bobby,
Well, the reason Okerlund does that is he's not strong enough to pick up 18-year-old farm girls. What a stupid question.
Okay, we'll take Alex and we're going to go to break. Alex, what's up?
Hello, Brian.
Hey, what's going on?
Heard, CWA launched this Saturday in Hot Diesel. It was a wild show. Paramedic and Crazy Boy put on a good show. But at the end, it was like an ECW show, and everybody running in and brawling all over the building. Tyron Ganetti's match was also good.
Alex, do you have anything for Nick?
Yes, Mr. Bockwinkel.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to learn how to be a wrestler.
God bless you.
What should a young guy like me do to get into the business today?
Pick the right parents.
To first of all, accept the fact that what you want to do, let's see, you want to say you want to get into the business. You want to become, quote, a wrestler.
Hello?
Yeah, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's simple enough of what your desire is. And you can go to any number of schools. In fact, coming up here real soon, in about 2 months, there's a Las Vegas Wrestling Academy that is being...
Okay, thank you. Can I ask you a question, another one?
Get rid of him. We got to go to break. Bye.
Oh, boy. Get a phone. That's another good piece of advice.
That's right. The last gentleman that was asking about he wanted to be a wrestler. Is he still there, or did he go?
No, he's long gone. In fact, he will never be back. He will never be back. He's just passed away. Let's go to James in Kentucky. James, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing fine.
You just comment on Bobby Heenan. I don't think his career is over. I think he'll be in the WWF or WCW.
It is very possible.
He's just got too much talent to offer, even at the age he is, just doing the thing. I mean, especially behind a microphone. I mean, you know, it's so spontaneous. I remember one time he wrestled somebody, I think it was Stone Cold Austin, beat the guy, and the guy's name was, he was the lifeguard. And so then Stone Cold...
Tugboat? Who's
I don't know
lifeguard?
who it was, but anyway, Stone Cold then laid down on the mat, and he kind of arched himself back up, stomach down, and he was going through like he was swimming across the mat, you know, kicking his feet and taking a swimming.
I can't hardly hear you, Nick.
Pardon?
I can't hardly hear you, sir.
Well, I'll try and talk louder.
Okay.
But anyway, he was doing Stone Cold was doing this swimming routine, laying on the mat, like he was swimming in a pool, and whoever Bobby's sidekick was, he says, "What's he doing?" And Bobby says, "Well, he can't kick sand in his face." So, I mean, he just would go out and beyond wherever it was.
Whatever that would have been.
Yes, Mr. Bockwinkel?
Yes,
maybe Brian Pillman. Remember California Brian for like 2 weeks?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead, James.
Could you say hello to John out there? He's listening. He's my friend.
John, hello.
Okay, and we're going to a break. We are going to improve the quality of our callers very soon.
Okay, wait a second. Al, I think who works with the Meltzer Show.
That's correct.
Now, Al, how could you kick off James from Kentucky? You said he was a dull caller.
Exactly.
Well, what do you want him to do? Tell jokes?
Be less dull. No, not tell jokes, but contribute something positive to the show, which he does not. And being called Dynamite Dave just kind of doesn't work. We've gotten more complaints about James in Kentucky and another caller, Alex in Puerto Rico, than I care to mention.
Well, this is the advice portion of my gossip program,
okay.
And so I try to advise James, and I hope that by the next time he calls, he will have gotten a job, and he's come to the conclusion that he has to leave his hometown. I think that's progress. That's not easy to realize, is it, James?
No, it's not. And is this the phone caller? Is this
I'm the phone screener, producer. I'm the jack of all trades for the show, James.
He is. That is the Al is the person who told you can't talk to the Dave Meltzer Show until you get a job, put in your $1,400, and join that wrestling association.
Well, I call there to talk to the superstars, not to act like a fool.
You mean
which they think I am.
They don't think you're a fool. You do not think he's a fool, Al. No. He's not a fool.
How about let me call in today and I'll ask a simple question?
Because Dave has specifically told me not to have you on the show anymore, so I kind of have to listen to what the host says, you know.
Now, listen.
You tell Dave this means war, then.
War as opposed to what, James? I know that you used to be a caller on WCW Live and they hated you on there, too. So.
No, they didn't.
Well, yes, they did. Trust me.
By
the way, James, mentioning Ohio Valley Wrestling, if you want to go and work down there, I would try and talk to Jim Cornette as best you can, because those guys down there, I mean, they could use some people. They could use guys like you. They could use your help.
You obviously
helping out on the show.
You obviously love wrestling, and I think you should try and pursue that. And what I think Al is trying to say, James, is they want you to work on, your job and your life a little bit. You're just young. You're just starting out. These guys are older and they've already pursued work a bit. So, I know it's hard to leave he only lives in a town of 1,000 people. Wow. And it must be hard to face the fact that you might have to leave your parents and, It's hard, but you've come to that conclusion, and that's a big step. So why don't you call your uncle and see if he can try to find a job for you in Louisville.
Well, and I also got something to say about the Dave Meltzer Show.
Okay.
I start calling because I heard about these big name wrestlers that was calling.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Wait. Don't insult. Wait.
Dave Meltzer.
I know. And I think that they're just trying to encourage you in their own rough, macho way, that they want you to get a little bit more of a life.
And their own testosterone
It's called freedom of speech.
Oh, I understand it's freedom of speech, James, but when I got 50 people emailing me telling me that you're horrible, I have to, worry about the content of the show. And if you're bringing the content of the show down, then I don't want you on.
Men are so mean. Men are mean.
And I got to say one thing, Joanna. I think right now he's bringing the content of our show up.
I think you're right about that. Now, James.
People like that takes away the right to get on there and talk about wrestling stuff gives a bad name to wrestling.
Well, I think that's why you need to give a good name to wrestling, and I think you need to go become a wrestler or work for the Wrestling Federation or something. Okay,
Miss Malloy.
Yes.
Can I just say something else?
Please.
He said I was such a bad caller for WCW Live.
Yes.
Every wrestler I talked to on there, either they laughed about me or something, they know who I was though, and I know Jeff Jarrett and all of them.
Well, I think that I believe you 100%, and we just want you to get your life together and get on the right path. Okay?
Yeah, and it really hurts down deep inside that somebody take away a privilege like that.
You know what, James? You don't need that show right now. What you need is to focus on your own life. You don't want to be thinking so much about superstars and other wrestlers and stuff. That's the problem with this country, is that there's only like 1,000 royalty, 1,000 celebrities who are either actors or sports people, and everybody's just staring at them and watching their lives and living vicariously through them, whereas you should get your own life and try as hard as you can to get the pleasure out of your own work and your own family.
Yes, before I go, could I just ask this man something else?
He went to ask permission of Dave Meltzer if he could go to the bathroom.
Oh, I just wanted to ask him: Does he know Vince McMahon?
I don't think Al knows Vince McMahon personally. No.
Because I keep on calling his office,
and
he don't return the call or nothing.
Now, come on, James. I know you live in East Ashtray, Kentucky, but don't you think that Vince McMahon is a little bit busy? He's busy.
Why? He done lost XFL.
You think he's just sitting around in shorts watching MacGyver reruns?
And fixing to have run WCW down the tubes when he relaunches it.
Now, Mickey Alla, by the way, says, can you remind James that one of our very nice lady listeners says that Al just gave you a good tip for wrestling in that Ohio Federation. He gave you a name. Did you write down that name that he told you about? Al,
I couldn't hear him.
Al, what was that name? Was this a serious referral? A name of the guy?
Cornette.
Jim Cornette
works with Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Okay, so you try. Why don't you write a letter to? Is it CORNETT?
CORNETTE, yeah.
With an E on the end. And
what's the number I could get a hold of him with?
You just call 411 and ask for Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Yeah, they'll direct you to a phone number of the Ohio.
Okay, but you so try that, and also try to get a job from your uncle.
Yeah, and
they have a website. Yeah. You're very internet savvy. Why don't you email them and say you're internet savvy and you know everything about wrestling?
It's OGWrestling.com.
Oh yeah, Al.
Yeah.
Tell Dave Meltzer the trademark name I give him. If he uses it again, it's a trademark name, so I'll charge him money.
James, trust me, he will never use that name again.
What is that name?
Dynamite Dave.
Trust me, he'll never use that name again. I trust you.
Never use it again.
Never. Somebody else might use it, but not Dave Meltzer. That's for sure.
James?
What?
James, just pay attention to yourself and forget about Dave for a while. He's going to come crawling back and begging you to be on the show, okay?
I'll never be on their show again.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that Al hurt your feelings. He guys are macho. They just are. I don't know what to say.
Let's go to James. James, what's up?
Is it just me, or does Benoit just have abnormally short arms? Because
he does have abnormally short arms. Yes.
Really? Like how short? Like, is he
I don't know, but they're short for his height, yes. Which is probably why.
Does he have trouble tying his shoes?
I don't know, but you're going.
No, but I bet he can bench a hell of a lot.
On.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing just fine.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Well, try
Who
your
is
best.
your daddy, and what does he do?
Is he gone?
He's
All right.
a worker.
Listen, you Dan and Scott guys, knock it off.
Let's see. Here's what I'm hoping for, Judgment Day involving Benoit. Since it makes sense for Angle to win his medals back in the ladder match, have Edge and Christian interfere so Angle doesn't get the clean win, and Benoit has more heat with Edge and Christian. I think that's how it's going to go. I would guess that too. That would be what makes sense. Then have Benoit be Jericho's mystery partner for the tournament, and have them win the tag team titles, eliminating Edge and Christian, and then have them.
So Benoit's going to wrestle twice in this.
4 times.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We'll see different matches.
And then on Monday, have Benoit and Jericho win the tag team titles from Hunter and Steve Austin.
I hope this person did not send his resume to the WWF.
I know, they're looking for writers. But actually, you know what? I'll tell you what, I thought about that exact same thing, and it makes perfect sense.
It does, but it'll never happen. That's only...
I don't expect it to happen either. Let's go to Terry in North Carolina. Terry, what's going on?
So you think it's a bad idea for The Rock to become a heel right here? Like
horrible idea.
What I'm thinking of with this right here.
Let's just turn everybody heel.
Horrible idea.
What I'm thinking of with this right here, I think it'll kill him. Basically, he blamed the fans of McMahon for not letting him be black.
Yeah, terrible idea. Will not happen. No.
I doubt that'll happen right there.
No, that one's not happening. Let's go to Jim in Colorado. Jim, what's going on?
Yeah, from what you've heard on the TLC match, does Benoit have trouble reaching the tag team titles?
I don't know.
He didn't bust out the 5-foot ladder like on the pay-per-view.
Oh, well, if he wins King of the Ring, do you think that he'll have trouble putting on the crown?
Okay, you're gone. Let's go to Mike in Boston. Mike, you're next up. He's gone. Let's go to Wes. We'll start with Dan in Chicago. Dan, what's going on?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Doing good.
Hey.
Now, last night, I don't know if you know anything about the Chicago radio stations. They have a radio station.
I know something about them today.
They have a radio show called WrestleMania X. I don't know if you know that.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I've ever done that show or not.
Yeah, it was mentioned a couple times about the Bret Hart stuff.
Oh, that Bret Hart's going to WWF?
Yeah. And
well, they are clueless.
They said,
you know what? I got to tell you something.
Dave said that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's really good reporting.
Not that you're clueless, but the fact that you said that, that you're right on about the Bret Hart stuff and you're a good source of wrestling. You know, that you know your stuff, and Bob Ryder doesn't really know much. Which I'm not
going to say Bob Ryder doesn't know stuff.
Right.
I'll tell you what, though. On a story that big, I don't know, man. That's all I can say. Yeah. And he tried to even blame that one on me, didn't he? That was so sad.
Roundabout way.
That was really sad. I got to say that was really sad. I mean, hey, and I blew it on stories too, but I mean, my God, it's just that one was a big, that's a big one to blow. I'll tell you. I mean, because you're talking about a story that. Let's face it. I mean, first of all, the fact that everybody was so freaked out about it tells you what a big story it was. And second, it's a story that on the surface. I mean, when Brian heard it, when I heard that thing, I mean, our first reaction was, no way. Yeah. So it's when it's something where your reaction is no way, you better do real a lot of thought on you know what I mean? It's something that's I don't know. What can I say?
Hey guys, we just got to the arena here. I got Don Callis beside me. You want to chat with him?
Absolutely. But hang on. Dan, just to finish up and then we'll go to Don.
All right, hello, lads. I got the stalker. One more time, I'll give you one last name.
Okay, you can
Don
go for the stalker.
Paul Bearer.
Okay, it's not Paul Bearer.
Are you sure?
That's a match I'd want to see, Undertaker and Paul Bearer.
No, Undertaker. From what I hear, is that not that there's a new brother, but the fact is that's what they were saying last night.
Oh no, they're going to bring in the guy from Ohio Valley as his brother.
Why don't you think it's Paul Bearer?
No,
because they have to have a match. The whole thing is in wrestling, you build up to have a match between two people. You don't just have an angle for the hell of it. And Paul Bearer and Undertaker are not going to have a match.
No, I didn't say that. They could bring somebody else in, not like a brother situation, but somebody else with Paul Bearer.
But why would Paul Bearer be stalking her?
Because Undertaker and Kane are so popular, and he's a little upset about the whole that he's
upset
at aside.
He's upset that he's a talent scout now instead of on TV.
instead of Paul Bear.
That's a good angle.
Am I being laughed at?
You made me become a talent scout. I have to go and watch all these guys.
Am I being laughed at?
No.
Okay, no, but it's not Paul Bear.
Okay. All right, guys.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
All right. Hey Don, how you doing?
Doing real good. My God, Alvarez just all over the callers today.
Well, we're just trying to keep logical thinking, which is actually sometimes tough in wrestling.
I just get frustrated because every day on this show we plug our website every single day, and we don't make a dime off that website. All we use it for is for the people. I'm sure, yes, we do use it to plug our newsletters, but we put the news up there. I go up onto that bulletin board every day and answer questions for free for the people. And I get so frustrated that people can't go up there to the website and read that stuff. Just please, That's what we put it up there for. I did get some depressing news today, though. My friend Shoulders, that I always talk about on this show, got carjacked last night. Some guy broke into his car and just pounded on him while he was buckled up and stole his car. Went on a crash about 20 minutes later. But I told him the good news was he didn't work for Bill Watts because he'd be out of job right now.
That's right, he would. Oh my God, that would only make things worse. Can you imagine, a wrestler gets hit by a pipe or something like that in the old days, and then gets fired too?
Oh, I know. It's the whole thing. I mean, I could imagine maybe if you're in a bar fight face to face with some, if you're 250 pounds, there's a 130-pound guy that beats your ass in a bar face to face. That's one thing. But, getting pounded on while you're buckled up and, it's totally different. Hit with a pipe, hit with a lamp by two men.
Well, I think that in those situations, Bill Watts might have had some leniency, as long as it didn't make the press. But if it made the press, I think if it made the press, he would have not had a lot of leniency. It's gone. Okay, Jim, what's up, Jim?
Hi, Roland.
Yes.
I had a question.
Sure.
How hot was it in that fat suit that you wore him beyond the mat?
Well,
how hot was it?
Yeah.
Bye.
Now, you haven't started taking memberships yet, right?
I'm sorry, what?
No, I actually have a valid question here. You have not started taking memberships yet, right?
Taking memberships on the 1st, on Monday.
Okay. I'm just wondering because I'm going to be interested in seeing how this actually does because for many years people have been trying to make money on wrestling on the internet and it always fails.
Well,
and
let me put it like
they have made money on porn, however, so...
They make money on porn. Do you know the DVD business, or not DVD, but the VCR business? Do you know how the VCR business started? All because of porn. Okay,
I didn't know that. I thought it was because of wrestling.
From what I've heard.
Yeah, the internet business...
Okay, and one question that I wanted to ask is I've heard them talk about the Paul Varlin thing before.
Right.
And now, was that a storyline or was this real?
No, that's not a storyline. that was a storyline that we made up, except it's true.
Except it's true. See, the thing is, Paul Varlin did not want to tap out to Taz because Taz is about 3 feet tall, and Paul Varlin's is how tall is Paul Varlin's?
Probably 6'8".
6'8". And
probably 340 pounds.
Yeah, this UFC, some kind of real shoot fighter.
No, he's just a big guy.
Just some big...
The polar bear.
The polar bear. Dave, remember him sitting out there at the pool and he wouldn't leave?
Yes, I remember this.
You and me and Dave are sitting there not even talking to him and talking to each other, and the guy still wouldn't get the clue to leave. Poor guy. Anyway, and this is after I promised him sex and never gave it to him, and he still, bugged me. I don't know what his problem was.
Well, you never gave it to him.
And I never gave it to him. He came back from the dressing room after...
Well, no wonder he kept hanging around you.
Yeah, well, what happened was, I promised him, I kept telling him it'd be good for his career, this is the only way he's going to get into wrestling, he's got to show that he's a team player, blah, 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 Missy being the booker, blah, 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 because, see, he wouldn't do it. And so Paul Lee calls me, Missy, you got to get Varlin. He likes you. Get him to tap out to Taz.
Television show. Huh? Some sitcom of someone blowing someone off and the guy, totally not seeing it.
Yeah, and then so he does it, and he comes back after he taps out from Taz, and in front of everybody in the dressing room, he goes, Missy, are we ready to go back to the hotel? I'm like, I don't go out with you, brother. And he just kind of sunk his way out of there, you know.
No wonder he hasn't been back.
Yeah, well, his career's dead.
Let me ask you something.
On CNN, on your guys' cable, what channel is it? Like on my cable here in New York, it's 74.
Mine's 72, and I'm Manhattan.
Okay. And everything, I know USA is down in the 30s, and I think there's a disadvantage with the channel being high up like that. When you surf through the channels, you usually go through all 80, 90 channels.
Okay, but why would that change? Why would that big drop come up after WrestleMania if it had that drop would have started from day one? I mean, there was. Don't get me wrong. It did hurt.
I'm saying a small part.
But this latest drop has nothing to do with TNN. No, I mean, I wouldn't. As far as like.
You know why it's dropping? It's because there's no Sunny or Missy on the show.
Or Mae Young. I can't believe they haven't brought her back.
Hey, there's something for your fetish site.
Hey, yeah, Mae
That's
Young.
right, seriously. And she...
Write that down, Mae Young, naked. We need her.
Okay, well...
Make sure you put fetish site there in parentheses.
Hey, listen. I'm sure there's a few old guys out there that like to see some of that stuff naked. And even
somehow I think when I'm old, I will still want to see younger women. Maybe it's just me.
May will do it. Hey, if she kissed sexual chocolate, she'll get naked.
Boy.
That may very well be true.
Yep.
I'm not liking this visual right now at all.
Guys, one last question on that Jacques Rougeau interview, which was great. It was a great interview. When he took that swing, he told that extensive story about with the bulldog there.
Yeah, I'll remember that forever.
Yeah. Was that? Did he have something in his hand when he took that swing? Because I thought he implied that.
There are people. I mean, I heard the story that he had brass knuckles when I first heard the story, but that was from like the bulldog side of it.
I have a story about Jacques Rougeau. He gave a friend of mine a really bad case of the crab.
Oh God. Oh God. Anyway.
Sorry.
Okay.
Do you work at a grocery store? Please tell me that's the story here.
Anything
else? No, that's it, guys. Great show. I hope you're going to archive this one.
Thank you.
Please not ask
we will.
Mark.
Let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy, what's up? Is Jimmy gone?
Yeah, I want to speak to Missy.
Well,
she's here.
Missy.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you one thing. This is just like a dream come true. Get to talk to you and have Sonny in the same room with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have mercy. I remember you back in the old world class days, way back then. Did you work in it with Nicola Roberts?
No, when in the UWF we did a couple of 4-girl battle royals. Yeah.
I just want. Were you in the Crockett promotion when she was there?
No, I wasn't. She was there when I was in UWF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw something in a magazine a while back. Were you in an indie fit sometime and did a cage match with somebody?
Yeah, that was the Kimona.
Well, I never did. Who finally won that? I never did.
You know what? To be honest with you, I don't remember. But picking up Kimona, she weighs like 90 pounds. It felt like friggin' 300 pounds trying to pick up that little girl. But now that she's learned how to work, I'm sure it's a lot better. So I'm not sure.
Well, are you a blonde or are you got dark hair?
Well, I'm a blonde, but you know what? If you check out Wrestling Vixens with 3x's.com, you can see all of me.
Oh, I tell you, I will be putting $10 toward your site.
You better.
Okay, I'll tell you another thing too. I remember that picture. What did you have? The hockey sticks?
Yeah.
Oh God, that was so hot. And
what hockey sticks?
I mean, where you was the head in the wrestling match that was covering your nipples and stuff.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you. Oh Lord.
Those were kendo sticks.
Now,
look at the picture. The body was tan and the face was white. Yeah, they put somebody's they put my head on somebody's body with the two.
Oh my God! Oh, there's never listening to that.
I tell you,
oh my God!
Hey, can I give
with the internet nowadays and digital?
Can I give Sonny a message?
What?
Can I give Sonny a message?
Sure.
I tell you
Hold
what.
on 1 second.
Okay.
Hello.
Sonny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got Tammy Sitch on this line.
Yes, Tammy. I've always followed you, and I've been a big fan of yours.
Well, thank you very much.
Last time you was in WCW, I was just, when you left, it was just I couldn't understand it,
Well, I really didn't like what WCW was doing. I didn't like what they were headed for.
Right.
So I just, said, all right, that's
None of us did.
What got me was, Tammy, I really got pissed off a lot of wrestling chat rooms. They were talking about where you'd let yourself go and everything. I tell you, you're a sexy damn woman. I tell you that right now. I don't care. A little bit of meat on the bone ain't never hurt a woman.
Okay, then.
I don't mean to embarrass you, but it just kind of.
Hey, nothing embarrasses me.
But
and everything embarrasses me.
I'm gonna sign up for y'all's website because I tell you, y'all are some sexy women. I tell you that.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Well, Monday's a day for you, Jimmy.
Okay, y'all have a great weekend.
Oh, gosh. Okay, we've got Eddie in New Orleans. Eddie, what's going on?
Guys, man, I can't believe I'm following Hillbilly Jim up there. God, that guy scared me. This is a channel. Hey, Dave, this show should be on the Comedy Channel of Eyada, man. It is hilarious.
So that guy.
I'm glad you like it.
It's great. Well, hey, Dave, Brian, y'all always do a hell of a good job getting the word out. But Missy?
No, Missy's not on it.
Oh well, Sunshine, Tammy, Lynn Senchinoff.
Sunshine. Sunshine.
Wrong chick, babe.
Wait, what?
Wrong
20
decade.
years younger.
Oh.
Yeah, wrong decade. Whatever happened to her anyway? But anyway.
Yeah, well, I wanted to throw down the gauntlet and challenge Missy Hyatt. Could you put her back on?
Hold on.
Thank you.
Hello.
Miss Hyatt, I've watched your work, world class. I go way back and all that fun stuff, and admired your work. But you know what? When you said that mention about you make more money with your phone on, you're promoting that, and you knew what you were doing. I want to challenge you. Throw it on the gauntlet. If you think you can go against Vince, go after it. If you think you can make more money, do it.
I'm doing it right now. Wrestling.
No. I'm talking about, if you think you can outmatch Vince, put your own league together. Get on TV.
Oh, come on. Nobody can fight Vince. No one can out-promote Vince. No one ever said that.
No, she's the one who's talking about it, saying, she knows everything. Come on.
She didn't say she could out-promote Vince.
Money off myself.
Hey, money makes the world go round, and if you got money, you could do a league.
I think myself and Tammy are getting naked on our website because I smell Porsche. Okay? I don't want to run a wrestling company. If I want to run a wrestling company, I guess I'd get backers and I'd try to run a wrestling company. But
then you learn something?
Is dead.
Then you learn something?
Is dead.
Well, then you learn something how to do it?
Jabroni.
Oh, yeah, that's easy. Easy one. Come on, come back with me. Come on. Throw another one at me. Come on. You see? Dead air. It's always good.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, I respect your work and all that.
Yeah, whatever. Get off the fucking friggin' phone.
Oh, come on. Bring it on.
I don't know who you are, but you know what? You'll probably be the first pervert that signs up to WWF.
No, sorry about that.
Yeah, he'll be the second.
I'm not calling to blow my own website down here, okay?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, I'm not calling to get pervs to spend their money on me, okay?
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Go home and live with your mom and
I own my own home.
Okay?
I own my own home, sweetheart.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, I do.
Is it a double wide or a single wide?
No, it's actually a one-story beautiful house in Metairie here in New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, in New Orleans.
Yeah, in New Orleans. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Right there.
Oh, that's right. Well, of course not. But you don't have to be like you.
Dead bodies floating up in your.
Oh yeah. We have dead bodies. Yeah, and we even have vampires. That's really.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a friend of mine. We'll put a spell on you.
Ooh, voodoo. Oh, so it's Missy Voodoo Hyatt. Whoa.
Yeah,
that's right. A new one. Why don't you go run off with that one too?
Yeah, I'll try. Listen, to make a buck, I will. Okay?
Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you are, making a buck.
And you people down in New Orleans don't like Jews.
You people? You people? This is a good one. Come on. What else? What else? Teach us something. Come on. I'm gonna call you Professor Hyatt because you're just teaching.
Okay.
God.
That's it. All right. Is anybody left? Brian,
I'm here.
Okay. David, in Long Island, what's going on?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. David, save my show. Please.
Well, what do you want me to do? Ask about pride or something?
What's going on, David?
Well, I wanted to ask Missy. We know how Lance Storm likes to use lots of logic holes in his argument. Does he like to use lots of holes when he has sex?
Oh, God. Come on, David.
What the hell is going on today?
Well, it's our fault. Jeez. Okay. Missy.
Who do we have here right now? Missy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Do you guys not screen your calls?
I guess I don't.
Today was one of those days, you know?
You know, do you not screen your calls? Like I want to own a wrestling company.
I know.
Like I want to lose money.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want to be lose millions of dollars. Like I want to run wrestling shows. No, I just want to show naked women. What's wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that?
Who from Philly?
Paul, let's go. What's going on?
What's going on? Hey,
Paul.
how are you?
Hey, guys, how are you?
You're from Philly?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, you know who lives down there?
Who?
Trent Acid.
Oh, yeah.
From the Backstreet Boys.
Have you had sex with him? Who have you not had sex with?
I know someone.
Who?
Brian.
Brian.
I'm safe up here in Seattle.
Hey, that doesn't mean you're not safe. Because you know what? I wanted Kid Rock, and I did a radio show on Monday, and I challenged that skanky hoe Pam Anderson to a wrestling match. And we put Kid Rock in a cage up above the match, and the winner of the match would get Kid Rock.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go watch Wrestling with Shadows when this is over.
You know what? Speaking of Wrestling with Shadows, if anyone knows how to get in touch with Bret Hart, I want to have
I might know someone.
Huh?
I might know someone.
You know someone? Let him know. I don't want him, but I do want his sperm because I'd like to have a child. And I think Bret Hart's sperm would be great sperm.
I've never thought about that ever.
Well, with my looks and brain and his brains and wrestling ability, the kid would either be a fabulous wrestler or they would be an awesome hockey player. There you go.
See? Thought about it for at least 5 minutes.
I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Okay.
So anybody that knows Bret Hart, please let him know. All he has to do is just stick it in a cup and freeze it and send it.
Dave?
Yes?
Do you think that Lou Bez is sitting by the computer listening to the show?
Yeah, because he's mad that they're talking about Brett as a great wrestler, not him. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he is.
Dave?
Probably not. Yes.
Could you make this a 2-hour show today?
It is a 2-hour show.
I mean,
Come
a
on
3-hour show today?
No, we cannot.
Okay.
I couldn't even if I wanted to.
Missy?
Yes.
Were you ever with Kamala?
Come on, that's a good one.
No, but you know what they used to do to me? This is the funniest thing. On the airline reservations, they used to always sit me in the center seat right beside him.
Uh-huh.
On all the airline flights. I used to always get stuck sitting by Kamala.
Who was on the other side?
I don't know. Probably some poor soul that was like smushed up to the window.
Shockmaster?
Huh?
Shockmaster.
Yeah, right.
He fell through the window.
Missy, do you have any thoughts on Tom Zink?
Do I have any thoughts on Tom Zink? Tom Zink is the one man that I wish I would have slept with. I had the biggest crush on him for years and years and years and years. Guy wouldn't even give me the time of day. Yeah, he's in my top 10, in my book, on my top 10 regret list. One of my top 10 regrets is that I never got to sleep with Tom Zink. I was in love with him for years and years. And years.
Wow. Now when he's on the show, we're going to have to...
Yeah, we're going to have to ask him next time he's on the show.
Ask him, because you know what? I was so totally in love with him. I used to follow him around. Like, if he would turn around, he'd walk right through me. I mean, I thought Tom Zink was the hottest guy in wrestling. And
Tom, you got 2 minutes to call in if you're listening.
Okay, who's next?
Next up is Larry in Montreal, guys.
Larry, what's going on?
Hello.
Hey.
Larry.
Hi, guys. Sad day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I simply want you to know that I love the show. I love Eyada. I had a good time. But keep talking, Wrestling Dave, and I'll listen to you on the law. Well, listen,
thank you very much.
I want to talk about Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Since that time, he seems to forget one thing. when he tries buying them out, just how about having the same things done to himself? He really thinks that he's going to wipe them all out one at a time? I'm afraid he's mistaken. That damn swine idiot. And that's all that there is to it. Have a good day.
Thank you. Not sure what that was all about, but anyway.
I think he's got to he's got to stop holding his Johnson a little bit there.
I think he's the guy that writes those promos with the letter I.
God, I know.